challenge on who
Oh my God,
suck
that's
him off
even
faster.
worse.
I don't fucking know.
Got her, go.
Go what?
Oh God, we're live.
It's Chip challenge? What's going on?
Chip is challenged.
Oh, okay. And we're live
Yep.
right now.
No, give it a couple minutes.
No? Okay, all right.
I hate you.
Listen, it's now a tradition thing with the way that this show starts. So welcome, one and all. Welcome to episode number 41 of No Bucks Given right here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel and the Horny Goat Podcasting Network, where, of course, you can listen to us on all your favorite podcasting platforms. This, of course, is the show where we talk about anything and everything we want to in the world of news, entertainment, politics, or anything and everything in between. I am not alone. I've got with me here the wonderful cohorts of the Horny Goat crew, and, of course, you wonderful people joining us live here on the channel, youtube.com/hornygoat. As we talk about all sorts of fun shenanigans and whatnot. Apparently a guy named Chip who is extremely challenged. But we get into that. Let's get into the introductions. Of course, first and foremost, we've got the power couple of the Horny Goat. We got JP and Heather with us. How you guys doing?
The fuck am I watching on the screen right now?
This bruise right here should sum up my day.
Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm in Kansas.
This
Still
some
in
sort of
prison.
zombie thing?
It's
Still in
Halloween.
prison.
I like it.
Yeah, it's Halloween themed. I'm going to go with that because Basement, I think, is not on the call right now, so we'll go with that.
Basement whippy.
I had to piss.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I thought it was a Blink 182 fucking video. But anyway.
There are they!
Their new single on the new album coming out to cover their concert.
Oh, Jesus.
To cover their concert, is that going to cost $1,000? I'm
Fucking
in Kansas.
it's a long game that much.
So these rooms that I'm in, used to be minimum security barracks for prisoners.
Is it haunted?
No, Gina. But I
Well,
did
JP's
hear a
there,
noise
so.
and I almost shit my pants because I heard a whining noise. I'm like,
Okay.
what the fuck is going on? It's just the wind was howling.
Sure, it's just the wind. It's haunted.
No, it's not. It's not haunted. I will say this. I did drive by the prisons.
Mhm.
Not a place that I would want to hang out in.
I mean, usually a prison isn't, but you know.
Well, so the building, you can see a picture of the building. It does not, and I'm going to tell you, it does not do it justice.
It does
It is
not.
very imposing. It's like the steps to get into the front door. And that's just for the regular, like the employees or whatever. It's like a mountain.
Damn.
It's imposing. It's very imposing, and that's the new prison. I actually went to the old prison where all the Brubaker, the movie Brubaker, was made, and Glass Castle.
So JP's getting messed around by fucking ghost prisons, and Heather's under extreme physical distress. So you guys can't see it on the audio version, but Heather had a pretty nasty bruise on her thumb, which I thought you were originally talking about a fucking burn, and then you saying you just like banged it on like making dinner.
Just right on the
It's burn,
top of
isn't
the
it?
stove, grabbing the macaroni and cheese bags that Wendy yeeted up to the stove because I told her I still needed it before we
She
could throw
listened.
it in the recycle bin. So yeah, if you didn't see
Is it
it,
a burn bruise?
No.
Or just a bruise?
no, it's just a bruise.
Oh,
Just a
I
bruise.
thought you burnt it too because when you said it landed on the stove and it was about to start on fire, I was like, oh fuck, man. I thought
She probably
Yeah.
wouldn't be on the call right now.
well, depends.
Yeah, but I
Sure.
hit the point of the knuckle just right that
Ah,
I got nasty bruise, and the other side of my thumb was completely numb for like 3 hours.
I mean, at least
was
you
interesting
didn't
trying-
burn it too. At least you didn't burn it too, because that would have sucked like
Yeah.
big time. I mean, it already sucks big time, but it really would have sucked if you would have burned it too.
and of course we do also have the wonderful Gina J with us. Gina, how you doing this evening? Are you awake yet?
Guys? Maybe. I just woke up not even 15 minutes ago, so we'll see how this night goes.
I literally asked her, like, just a casual conversation, like, Gina, you awake? And I heard, no consonants, no vowels, not even a word. Just, Gina, you awake?
Yeah, and then he asked me like 10 minutes later, and I'm like,
Well, you're like, maybe? I'm like, there's a word. All right, awesome. And of
Don't
course,
do well with words after I wake up.
And of course, last but certainly not least, everyone's favorite bear from upstairs. If he's not taking a piss, Canadian basement.
Yes.
Oh, geez, always making it about himself. Fucking Christ, can't shut him the fuck up. Good lord, how you doing, basement?
Shut up. No, there was I got some warning come up on fucking YouTube, but temporary block video. So I was kind of confused.
That was fast.
Yeah.
That
Don't
was
worry,
really fast.
It's gone now. So
was
we're
gonna
in
say,
the
usually-
clear.
Usually it's our intro, right? That usually does the trick as far as, or some copyrighted bullshit as far as like the intro where you like get blocked in certain countries.
Yeah.
On the left side of whatever this is on the screen right now, it looks like a devil face.
What
What did you
screen?
take before you went to
Yeah,
sleep,
like,
Gina?
Jesus
Nothing.
Christ.
It's called, I think, serotonin or some shit
Sure
that you
it
gain in your
is.
sleep.
There's no markings on this Ziploc bag. It just says crack on it.
I fell asleep
Yeah,
face
yeah.
down in a fucking bunch of crack
First of all,
cocaine.
If I took crack cocaine, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have fallen asleep.
Hey,
No,
listen,
he said
everybody has
crack,
different.
not crack.
Everyone has
Crack
different
cooking?
reactions. Crack cooking,
Mac
crack.
and cheese? I could fall asleep in some mac and cheese. I'm just saying.
Is Chip still challenged? Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here on episode 41 of No Bucks Given. You know, it's funny when I was real quick before we hopped on, I looked at the and this might be kind of like a duh moment, but I did map out like the next if we keep doing, if we don't miss a single episode of No Bucks Given, we will hit episode 52. Right on December 31st, like right on the actual last day of the year, which is like that for any OCD people out there, that's just like perfect. Like, that just fits nicely
Nicely
there.
right in the slot. Yep.
I'm like, perfect. I just noticed, I'm like, because I wasn't sure like if like we'd be like above a week, behind a week, whatever. Nope. If
Exactly.
right on the money with episode 52 on December 31st. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. You guys want to follow along with the different stuff we're going to talk about this evening, make sure you check us out. All the links for everything is down in the description. We got some wonderful people joining us live in the chat. We got Alpha, we got Aru Shinshu, we got Cody, we got Federico. Let's see here. I think that's everybody we got here. Of course, you see Heather and Gene and myself also popping in the chat too. So thank you all for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe, all that fun jazz. I believe we have Streamlabs working, ?
I did what you told me to do.
That is no promise. That is no guarantee. That is nothing. So if you guys want to donate to the show, I'll only mention this the one time. Streamlabs link is open. We have no custom donations yet, but we will probably work on some in the future. But in that case, in the meantime, don't forget to also check out all the other stuff on the channel, the Marvel Roundtable, the latest episode of Horny Goat GM, which was a little crazy, and then of course the fun gameplay we've had with. I'm trying to remember the games we've played this week because we've done a lot this week.
Pictures, anthologies,
Walking
I
Dead.
got the living shit scared out of me with that fucking bullshit.
I think Connor,
And then-
were you there? Did you leave by the time that Gino
No, he
shattered
was there
pants?
for this one. He made it through the whole one this time.
No, Connor.
No,
left
he
because
left
the
before-
kids woke
He
up.
left
No,
before pants
I had to
shitting.
leave.
Pants shitting action happened.
Yeah.
I saw a basement get
Connor-
scared.
I did get scared.
Connor,
That's
go-
true.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it once after you left. Yeah, there was a part that happened that I literally damn near, like, I think I peed myself. I
think actually
I did
no.
pee myself a little.
There was one. There was one that I saw Gina got scared, and then Basement got scared not too
no.
long afterwards, and then
That was-
there's
I
another
think
one.
that was towards
We're
the
not
beginning.
talking scared. We're talking about I threw my fucking remote.
Oh, then no, I wasn't there. Oh, I got to go back and check that one out, though. But check it out. We have a lot of cool content on the channel, youtube.com/hornygoat. But with that being said, should we talk about the... Let's talk about the baby killing nurse. You can't fucking
Oh,
segue
hell.
any better than that. So first thing I just want to note here is I mentioned this on the
Hold
call
up.
before we got on here. What?
Something's happening. YouTube is not receiving
Uh-oh.
enough video to maintain.
No.
Oh,
Is an un?
I don't
Do
understand.
you still have that other background in OBS?
This is excellent connection.
oh.
It could be YouTube.
It's probably YouTube basement.
I don't know, but it looks like really messed
It's
up on live.
choppy. It's choppy on the
Mm.
chat.
Choppy.
Well, you know,
Chop suey, bitch.
I don't think there's anything you can do about it there.
Yeah, but I mean, with how choppy it is, we're probably coming in like, what?
Yeah, it's not.
Well, no
looking-
shit, we're coming in sounding like
The audio comes in fine. It's the video.
Oh, well then I just sounded choppy for no reason. Sup, guys?
Think we're
It
Think we're
starts to get
catching
good
up.
and then it goes bad again, but
yeah. So
the
bear,
longest- no, never mind.
I just turned off the backgrounds to see, but I don't think it's. I don't know
here,
what the fuck's
I'll
happening.
I'll get off camera if that helps for a hot second, just to make it a little bit easier. But
I don't think so.
we'll see what happens. So apologies for the delay. I think there's been some technical issues, which I'm just gonna blame on Rayshawn because he's not here. So you guys can hear us okay? Let us know in the chat if you guys can still hear us okay. I know that our video is coming in a little bit choppy, but I guess let me just see if this actually works there.
That fixed it instantly because now
Yep.
even our cameras are working fine.
I removed
cool,
the
all right.
background. The backgrounds are fucking it up.
You might have had too
As
many
soon
in
as I get on
there.
camera.
I had one, which was playing.
That's what I was
Well,
trying to
it-
ask if you had the one with the zombies still in there.
No, that
Well,
was
I
gone.
mean-
Now that's just
Okay.
It had
darkness, baby.
All right, now we're good.
It had
Okay.
to have been just that particular background too, because it wasn't doing it with the zombie one.
That's
It's all about them squirting colors. Anyway, a nurse killed a bunch of babies, so let's get off with some positive notes here. So, on a personal note, I just loved how I mentioned this before we got on the chat here about the paragraph of the description. It just had like all the stuff we talk about. It's like nurse decides to kill 7 babies and more. It's like that is a.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted by JP's camera there. Anyway, this episode's going fantastically smooth. British nurse accused of killing 7 babies wrote, "I killed them on purpose" in notes. So Lucy Letbit, a nurse charged with killing 7 babies, wrote that she was evil and killed them on purpose on Post-it notes found in her home. Prosecutors in her ongoing trial claim. Smart move. Contents of the handwritten memos were presented in a Manchester Crown Court this week, according to BBC. The nurse, 32 years old, faces 22 charges for allegedly killing 5 infant boys and 2 infant girls, as well as attempting to murder 10 others at Countess of Chester Hospital in 2015 and 2016. She, of course, pleaded not guilty. Those Post-it notes will be her undoing. Authorities, prosecutors told the jury this week, discovered the Post-it notes during the search of her home. While some notes allegedly written by Letby read that she is a horrible, evil person who isn't good enough, others included what prosecutor Nick Johnson told the court as protestations of innocence. For instance, one includes the phrase, "I haven't done anything wrong." She previously states that the child's death at the hospital neonatal unit were statistically comparable to other units before January 2015. The deaths, according to Johnson, saw a significant rise, including in babies who were dying and the number of serious catastrophic collapses. So I guess what they're trying to say is that there was
There
that
could
some
be
of these
more. There could be more than what they have found, because up to that point it was keeping within the statistics of what hospitals usually lost.
Yep.
So yeah, this woman's fucked in the head.
Burner.
Yeah,
Was it like assisted
I hope they burn her
deaths?
alive. I'm not even gonna fucking die. Or I'm not gonna die. I'm not, I'm not even gonna lie.
you're not
Oh my
you're not a
God.
baby, so I think you're okay.
Listen, I'm immortal here, but speaking candidly,
You're gonna fucking die. Oh, that was good.
I can't talk. I'm not gonna fucking lie. This bitch needs to be burned alive. Like, listen, there's too many lies, alive, dead, whatever. There's too many.
fuck, that was great. Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with Gene on that one. Like, I have no sympathy for this woman whatsoever.
I mean, no matter how you spin it, even if you say, well, okay, well, the babies were going to die and she kind of fast-tracked it, it's like, you don't know that with 100% certainty. You are killing children. That's
Those
it.
poor families. Those poor families. That's like all I can think of is, it's bad enough to have your child die, but to have them be taken away from them, and then like Basement said, to have the possibility of them fighting through it taken away is just super fucked up.
The choice and chance of life taken away from someone
Exactly.
that doesn't even have it. Yeah, it just
It's like, how fucked up is this person? Like, I can't believe. Like, I mean,
Well,
going out
Post-it
there and Post-it notes. I didn't do any wrong. Where were these
Yep.
Post-it notes in her house?
In
I
her
didn't do
part-
anything wrong. I killed them all.
No.
yeah.
It's like
To me,
self-affirming.
it sounds like
I mean, I don't mean to
It sounds
die, but
like a schizophrenic type.
I was just gonna
thing.
say the same thing. Yep. She sounds
So,
schizophrenic
yeah,
and
let me-
Sounds like a
me-
undiagnosed.
Batman villain.
So, hold on. Question. She was found not guilty.
Oh,
she
has a
pleaded
title.
not guilty.
She pled not guilty by reason of insanity. I am fucking sure.
I don't think
I mean,
there's any
that's the
other
way I would go.
way to go. there.
Dude, if she admitted to fucking doing it, she's guilty, right?
So
Here's the thing.
But my thing is, I'm asking.
Like,
Literally,
it's
I'm telling you,
for you.
she can plead not guilty by reason of insanity.
She already
Now
pled-
she's gonna have to go through, she's gonna have to sit with a psychiatrist, a psychologist, what the fuck ever, and they're gonna have to evaluate whether or not she is fucking insane. That's all.
Right.
which is
That's
so hard.
she's doing, because Ted Bundy did this. Fucking, I don't know who else is. Most serial killers do this. I plead not guilty by reason of some do.
Rather guilty by insanity is technically, but yeah.
Not guilty by reason of insanity or whatever.
But it's so difficult, like in today's age.
It is.
It is so difficult to actually get a person or like a psychiatrist or whatever to sign off, and then a judge to go with it in order to get an insanity plea.
Thank you for the scratch lessons there, JP.
You're welcome.
I'm in remix. Okay, but
Yeah.
It's your
so
daughter's
difficult.
chocolate. I've seen chocolate milk stains all over the fucking computer.
But yeah, it's so difficult to fucking get a insanity.
What were we gonna say, Heather?
She could possibly get away with it considering the post-it notes themselves that they found in her apartment. How
No.
back and forth they are.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
but
I could
you
put
have an
post-it
argument
notes
there,
back
but-
and forth and go out and run people over and be fine.
But the thing is,
If you're here in America, you could very easily be proven innocent by way of
But-
insanity.
I think it's so
Right,
much
but-
so much more difficult.
It's not easy.
I was gonna say I don't know how it is in Britain, but like even in America, like pleading insanity is very, very difficult these days because it's so easy to do something and then plead that or say that I wasn't in my right mind frame when I did it. You know, I mean,
What's all this then?
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it?
it's so easy to pretend to be crazier than you actually are, if that makes sense.
If
When's
you're
the court
pretending-
hearing? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Look, if you're pretending to be crazy, you're fucking crazy.
Well,
100%. I'm with
Oh.
you there, but
yeah, but you're guilty. You're
the thing.
guilty. If
Here's
you're
the-
pretending, you're guilty.
Correct. Yeah, no, I'm not disputing that.
She's guilty.
Of course she is.
I mean, look at she had a job that no one suspected her of being crazy, a personal life, like it would seep through somewhere.
and not only that, but the whole point and like reason of insanity is you don't admittedly, how can I put it? You did the crime, but most of the time, if you get like reason of insanity or whatever, you don't recall actually like doing the crime, or
No,
you don't.
You don't grasp the concept of right
Yes.
and wrong.
Exactly.
Yes.
How did she hold down a regular life?
So
Yeah, she
I
was a
will
fucking
say this: I don't dispute the fact that any of you are wrong. But if you kill people, you're not right in the head. You're some sort of insane to want to fucking do something like that.
True,
I
but
get
like
that,
we
but
can
there's,
There is
like-
then where
different
does the argument of insanity
levels.
come in?
My point is there is different levels of insanity.
But if you
Right, which is-
premeditate and like plan out killing people, and whether you feel remorse or not doesn't come into it. Like the whole
But-
plea for insanity means you are not in control of your actions.
And not
Therefore,
only
you
that,
cannot
but
be held
I
accountable.
could see it if it only happened with like one baby, or something. But like she had post-it notes written down in her house, so she knew she was doing this.
Well, too, we're talking about Britain. I don't know what the laws are in Britain. So she may get off,
burned at the
and
stake.
we're going to be sitting here like, but what are we going to do? We can't. It's not an American. It's not an American law.
No, we're just commentating on how ridiculous it is, though.
No, I get it.
I think Britain
If
laws
she was
might
in the
actually be a
United,
little bit more strict on that.
if she was in the United States, she's going to prison for the rest of her life.
I think she'll be
Depending on
going to
the
a prison
state.
anyway.
Depending on the state,
She could get a death penalty.
They should deliver her sentence with a post-it note. Life, bitch!
Listen, I'm telling you right now,
Walking to the cell, slap it on her forehead.
situations like this, we need to bring back being burned on the stake. I'm telling you,
burning on the stake is.
Someone
You should have a
remix
bunch
what
of
Justina
babies
just
kill
said.
her.
Listen, I'm remixing myself. You don't have to.
I
But
know,
it's
yeah.
an eye
I don't
for
want
an
to
eye.
die.
So I agree. It's an eye for an eye. That's what the Bible says. So I agree with Basement. A bunch of babies should kill.
Get a bunch of babies, give them knives, and let them go at her.
Muppet babies were
But
here.
I
to
do
Or
not-
knives. The knives will end up in the baby's mouths before they end up doing anything
Why
to
did,
her.
what,
We might have to
Why
kill a
did-
couple babies
So my thing is,
to
it
get
was
this.
just the
my
first thing that
thing
popped
is-
into my head. Hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play?
We might lose a couple
So-
babies along the way, but we'll
so
get the job done.
oh my God, I'm going to kill you.
Yes.
My thing is, you have to be some sort of insane to want to hurt people.
You
Said
just
that
wanted to
before,
kill
yes.
me.
No. So schizophrenia. Now here's the thing. Schizophrenia is, correct me if I'm wrong,
Mhm.
is some sort of insanity, correct?
That's a
Yes.
mental condition.
Essentially,
It's not
yes.
It's a
insanity
mental,
per
yeah.
se.
Well, it's a mental health
Yeah,
condition, but it's not.
But you can't in that depending on the level of the schizophrenia, you may not know what the fuck you are doing because you are schizophrenic.
Well, here's the thing, though, Jake.
I have not seen anybody get off on that at any point.
Right.
Oh,
Here's the
okay.
thing with this as
That's
well.
what I'm getting at.
She has, even if she has schizophrenia, okay, let's say that. She has post-it notes all over her house stating what she did. So she
Okay.
knew what she did. Like, it's written in her own handwriting. It's all over her house. You obviously, 'cause schizophrenia, you go in and out of
Yes.
personalities. So
So-
in one of her sane personalities, you'd be like, "Oh fuck."
How did she
I
hold
did
down a
this.
job? A full-time
Okay.
job as a nurse with
Number one.
schizophrenia.
Well, that's exactly what happened, Gina, with one of the post-it notes. Is you do it to me all the time, so just relax your shit.
Relax it.
What's
I have to.
happening to you?
I have to take a shit.
Shut the fuck up. Go ahead.
With some of the post-it notes, she sat there and said, "I'm an evil person. I am no good. I am not worth living."
Right, but do you think that
Okay.
maybe she's trying to make herself sound like she's
It very
schizophrenic?
well could be, yes.
You
It's touch and go. There's not enough details in the case.
If only
I
she was a
don't think.
baby, she could kill herself.
Can we Ed Gein?
Yeah.
Remember him, right?
Yeah.
You know his story, right? He
Mhm.
admitted to doing what he did.
So did Jeffrey Dahmer.
But the thing is Ed Gein found not guilty by reason of insanity.
Well, right. But you take it to the opposite effect, right? Jeffrey Dahmer admitted to what he did. And Jeffrey Dahmer, he told everybody flat out, I know there's something wrong with me. But yet he knew enough in his mind to know I am crazy. But that does
Well, he
not
just
mean
didn't give
that
a
I
shit.
didn't do what I did, you know?
You are correct. So this is why they have those psychological and psychiatric.
Right.
So let's wait. Till those-
And that's what I was saying. Like,
know.
there's not enough. I don't have
He's
enough
in-
information.
I have enough
With the
information
trial
to know that
ongoing
she
right now,
killed
they can't
babies.
really divulge too much
Correct.
of the information
Right.
that comes out in trial.
Well, what
Okay.
was the case where okay? So, and I'll use this example. The issue with Tua Tagovailoa with the fucking concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody jumped all down the fucking throat of the UNC. They're hired
Non-affiliated.
non-affiliated people with the team. They're hired by the NFLPA. Well, they were fired, and it come to find out that they followed the fucking protocol. Okay, so and everybody on Twitter. I don't know if these guys should be fired and this, that, and the other thing, and blah blah this and blah blah that. The Miami Dolphins should be ashamed of themselves.
It's just today's society in general.
They were wrong because they didn't know all of the information. So yes, we are talking about it, but for me, I'm not going to say that she is not legally insane because I don't know. I don't know enough about the case, and I'm not a psychiatrist to sit here and say, "Yep, that bitch should shit in prison."
Shit in prison.
Sit in
No,
prison.
she's got to spend the rest of her life shitting in prison.
She'll sit somewhere for the rest of her life, whether it be prison or in a
Psych
rubber
ward.
room.
If there was any episode I wanted to hire a stenographer for on one of our streams, I think this would be the freaking one to do it. So,
English, motherfucker.
Speak it.
But I do agree.
Before we move on, speaking to what JP was just saying with the whole Tangaloa thing, I think it says a lot about society as a whole that our first instinct is to fucking burn at the stake, with anything. And
well,
you want to talk about mental health issues. But hold on, you want to talk about mental health issues?
Mm-hmm.
Society as a whole, their first instant reaction whenever they hear anything that they do not agree with is to burn at the fucking stake.
We're rioting.
We're rioting. Get out the pitchforks. It's the fucking mentality.
It's social media mob mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of reverted. Like we got so far without social media, and we were past the mob mentality for the most part. And then social media came around, and a bunch of dumb people talked to each other and only each other. And now we're right back where we started.
Yeah.
So many people have created their own echo chambers that it's just kind of disgusting.
Still working on mine. So,
It is.
I disagree with you about everything.
In my opinion, I think the reason that people are more inclined to jump down her throat in this particular instance is because of what she did.
Oh no, this instance, absolutely. My first instinct was burn her at the fucking stake because of what she did. I'm just saying in general, not even for crimes. Yeah. I'm just talking about because JP brought up the whole Tangaloa or whatever the hell his name is.
Tangaloa.
Whatever.
It's so much easier.
Isn't it?
I said Tangaloa. I'm pretty sure that's a wrestler in New Japan. But
yes, it is.
It is.
He brought him up, and it just made me think of society as a whole with anything. I mean, it can be the most minor shit, and the first instinct is to fucking riot. I hate you. I hate you. It's this side versus that side, and that's the first. I mean, it's like Basement said, it speaks a lot to society as a whole and where we are with social media, but it also speaks to society as a whole and where we are in our mental health. Like everybody deals with mental health issues these days, whether you want to admit it or not. Everybody has some form of anxiety, depression. We all deal with it. It's just a matter of the level of scale that we have. Like, is it worse than most other people, or are you a little bit on the better side in that situation?
Now, there's no. I did read through the article. There's no concrete evidence that she's schizophrenic. Not that she's not exhibiting the symptoms with the Post-it notes and other behavior, and not that she couldn't come out as schizophrenic. So I think when into JP's point of the guilty by ways of insanity does make sense. It would just be a matter of trying to concretely prove that she had no concept of right or wrong of what she was doing.
Yeah, and what JP brought it up earlier, what we're missing here is we don't know if Britain has a reason of mental insanity.
They do.
They do? Okay, I didn't know.
But it's theirs may be
they're wonkers all day.
They very well be more difficult than what we. I don't know.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, Britain is their courts are usually traditionally a lot more difficult than ours. But
yes,
there you go. So she may be clinically insane, but they may be like, well, you just killed babies, so we're gonna hang you.
I mean, can we just say this bitch crazy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's my point.
She's crazy.
Speaking of craziness in court cases and whatnot, this might be a good pivotal point. I'm going to jump around a little bit here. And I forgot about this because I actually did want to bring this one up. The Alex Jones court decision, which I just find this very intriguing from a legal reason more than anything else. But anyway, for those of you who aren't aware, and I don't want to misspeak here, but there was a trial that featured several. I think it was mostly parents of the victims of the Sandy Hook.
Sandy Hook, yeah.
Yep, of the Sandy Hook massacre. Now, if those of you don't know who Alex Jones is, thank God. But Alex Jones, one of his more infamous things that he was known for was publicly stating and boasting and declaring that the Sandy Hook massacre was staged. It was fake, and it was contrived. It was whatever you fabricated, whatever way you want to fucking put it. So anyway, long story short. A trial in Texas took place where a jury found that the InfoWars founder Alex Jones should pay a separate pair of Sandy Hook parents who sued him in the state, and between all of them, all the totals between the different, I think there was a journalist as well, but I think most of it was Sandy Hook parents. The total was just shy of $1 billion with a B, billion dollars.
965 million or so.
Yep, something around that ballpark.
Yeah.
Now, this is very intriguing to me anyway, for a number of reasons. Number one, he doesn't have that fucking kind of money, clearly. Yeah. But more so the idea of, I think this will, and maybe this is just me, you guys, obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I know that like cyberbullying and online harassment has stepped up as far as it being proceeded in the legal system, but I think this is probably one of the biggest public cases, even if you just take the financials into it. And I know there's been other instances of there are other stories of that were much worse tragedies, but I mean, this is kind of big. Not saying it's like against freedom of speech or anything like that. I'm not saying that whatsoever, but just the idea of like harassment and not even hearsay, but like what the fuck's the word I'm looking for? When you're basically defamation or something like that, like something,
defamation of character,
which is like, that is massive, and so that's why I was like, it's one thing for Alex Jones to be taken to court to this and to lose. I think everyone in the fucking brain knew that he was going to lose, but the staggering amount it has to pay is fucking insane.
So, and I think
sorry, JP. I think one of the reasons why he has to pay as much as he does is because he was actually warned multiple times before this lawsuit was filed. Like the families, at first they didn't want to file this lawsuit.
Oh,
the only thing that they wanted him to do was they wanted him to stop, because he was not only defaming their children, but listen, free speech and all that, I understand. Like, you have every right to believe that Sandy Hook was not real, whatever. You have every right to believe that. But the things that this man was saying, not about the parents, but about these children.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it
all over. It was just absolutely fucking despicable. And the parents did go through the processes of like trying to get him to stop before this whole like huge lawsuit thing took place. So he had numerous opportunities to be like, all right, well, this is what I believe. It may not be true.
I just found out the InfoWars parent company is called Free Speech Systems. You can't write this shit, folks. No, anyway, I'm sorry, Gina. Continue.
But I mean, my whole point is like, he didn't do so, and that was his choice. And I understand free speech. You should be allowed to say whatever you want to say, as long as it is factually true. And a lot of the stuff that he was saying was not factually true.
Well, here's the thing with that, Gina, because you also had Dr. Fauci out there spouting stuff that wasn't factually true, and everybody believing him, and everybody having to believe him.
But that's the problem in today's world. I mean, look what's happening on Facebook, YouTube, everything. It's happening everywhere. We get hit with fucking fact checkers about stuff that we happen to know 100% certain is true. I got hit with one on Facebook. I shared something with President Biden falling out the plane. We all saw that. We all saw it happen. But yet I got a block and a warning on Facebook because it wasn't factually true, even though it was literally all over everywhere and there was a video of it.
So, real quick, just a side note here. It says Jones had already been found liable by a judge after refusing to hand over critical evidence before the trial even began. And the 6-member jury was only asked to decide on how much Jones should pay. This is the second trial related to the Sandy Hook conspiracy theories. In August, a Texas jury ordered Jones to pay nearly $50 million of damages to a family whose son was killed in the massacre. During the closing arguments, a lawyer for the families and agents suggested that Jones should be ordered to pay at least $550 million, saying that the host's Sandy Hook content got an estimated 550 million views from 2012 to 2018. So that's probably where they were starting to get some of the numbers from.
Well, and this guy, he's such a fucking dick that even after this verdict came in, he actually put out a tweet or something like that, like pretty much laughing, saying,
Not gonna get the money.
If they think that they're ever gonna get that money, then they're fucking stupid. Is pretty much what he said.
Yep.
So yeah, they're never gonna get that money.
He's gonna die before he can even think about paying any of it off.
Yeah, and he will take it through the legal system as much as he possibly can before he ever pays him a dollar.
Punitive Dan. I don't remember how this word because wasn't there a case? Oh, the fucking Johnny Depp fucking thing.
Yeah. It's per state.
So I personally don't give a. I know Sandy Hook was a thing. Conspiracy theorists are idiots.
Which is how it shows.
They are part of the problem with society today. In fact, they're most of the problem with society today, especially on the fucking right.
For me, it depends on what kind of conspiracy it is.
No, conspiracy is not a real thing. Conspiracy it's a theory. It's an idea. Give me a conspiracy and I'll tell you if it's true or not.
Yeah, but who says that you're right? Like, who makes you the holy of holy that says that this is right and this is wrong? Exactly. So
you cannot. So the problem with the conspiracy is we can go round and round in a fucking circle and talk about it, just like the fucking JFK.
Just like the bullet did.
Figured out who killed him, by the way.
I am not wrong.
You're half wrong. You're half wrong.
How am I half wrong?
We don't. Okay.
Because
fuck you guys for a second. Okay, the Alex Jones thing. I think well, we can all agree on the fact that the guy like amped it up for fucking views and for money and shit like that.
Of course he did.
Yeah. He got that from it, and then he like when it came time to answer for his crimes, I don't know exactly. Like I've heard the guy say he apologized to the people, but it's not just an apology. It's like we're gonna take everything from you because somehow he killed all the kids or some shit like that. I don't really care about this individual case of this because I think he pretty much deserves what he's getting. Yep. The bigger problem for me is how you hold people financially accountable for what they say and where that number comes from. Because now, who's to say? Yes. Who's to police that and say you can say this, but you can't say that?
So if I come out and say that sour cream and onion chips taste like shit, and I come up with a conspiracy as to why, and then I get sued by Lay's. I could get sued by Lay's for saying that. Mm-hmm. That's what this world is coming to. Let's just sue somebody. And I get it. It's kids. That's not my point. But where does it stop?
Well, this is the problem, too, with a lot of things that have changed over the last 20 years in this world. It's not where it begins. It's where it ends. And too many people feel righteous and feel right in where it begins because it begins in a place where it needs to start, but they never consider where it's going to end up. And then you got some weird fucking shit happening. Some people getting $1 billion, like for what exactly? That to me is egregious, like an egregious amount of money. Mm-hmm. I get like he called it out. Like I mean, it's just. If somebody else was found to do anything that was a public lie, pretty much every politician should owe everybody fucking money.
Yeah,
absolutely. Prime example.
Like, where do you stop? And if you're gonna throw this guy into the fire, like to this extent, now people know that they can make money off of things people say on the internet. Where does everybody talk? on the
It-
fucking internet.
Yeah. And okay, here's the big thing.
What are we doing?
What are we
Like
doing?
what we are doing.
Sally here does. What
By
are we
the way,
doing? I don't know. What
I
are
do
we
want to
doing?
say before Lays comes out and says anything, I actually love sour cream.
JP's
Too late.
covering his own ass.
It's too late, man.
But I
I
think
mean,
to
you
be
know, I agree with everything Basement just said. It is society as a whole, but you bring in politicians into the mix. Look at what's happening right now. Okay, they are still trying to get Trump thrown in jail. Still trying to do it.
yeah,
Still
to
trying
me
to
at
do
this
it.
point, this
But
is
yet-
exactly
but
Alex
yet you
Jones
have-
level shit.
Yeah.
But then you have a video that was just released of Nancy Pelosi literally
we'll be
threatening
talking about
to
that in a second.
assault. Are we okay? Cool.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
I
that.
put it in the Discord. Don't worry, I have you
Okay.
covered.
But before we move to that, I like the thing is, things okay to go crazy with, and other things not okay, and who decides that? Because
Right.
leaving it up to like the general media and the government, you're gonna live in fucking a different version of fucking Germany, Hitler.
Well, the thing
This
is the
fucking
laws
headset
need to
keeps
be
disconnecting.
followed. No matter what it is, the laws need to be followed, and the laws are being bent in order to.
The laws only apply to certain people,
That's
I don't
what
think
I'm
these
saying, but like
ones-
they're being bent in order to like
and they only apply to certain ways
go
of thought.
to certain.
Personally, don't think he broke a law,
But he owes $1 billion.
but he owes
It was a
it's
civil
a civil suit. It's a civil suit.
He wasn't arrested for anything. He was
He wasn't
sued by
breaking laws.
Sandy Hook victims.
So basically, he was charged on morality. Basically,
I mean, in
like,
my
moral
mind-
standard.
In my
So
mind,
do you remember?
this guy gets
So-
$1 billion charge. So does fucking Juicy Smollett.
Exactly.
Agreed.
That's-
OJ Simpson. He was never guilty. Nicole and the other guy.
And we all know you.
But he was in a civil court. He was found guilty of wrongful death.
Right.
Nicole and the other guy. No J story.
Name was Ron. That's all I remember.
Ron, some fucking guy. I don't fucking remember.
Ron Swanson.
He was a woodworker.
I'm right on the same page with you guys as far as like it's not so much about the individual case, but more what the bigger ramifications is going to be for our legal system as far as toting the line and figuring out what's just, what's right. Like I literally had to dig to find out where the fuck they got that huge ass number from, because I've seen deep dives into Alex Jones, and it's not like, is he making money? Yes, but he's clearly not a billionaire by any stretch of imagination.
He's nowhere close.
So it's not like, even taking away the idea of like, oh, you're never gonna see that fucking money. It's more just the precipice this is going to set for future cases. I mean, like I said when I was talking about at the beginning, we've seen like cyberbullying and online bullying reach certain heights, and certain degrees to unfortunate circumstances. I've seen a couple cases like that myself with like, deaths and stuff involved.
Spotting and yes.
Yeah. So it's not like it's not unfortunately it's starting to become more commonplace, but this one has a lot of fucking attention, and rightfully so, because of the personality of Jones, his popularity, the significance, and everything and anything in between, everything else in between. So that's why I was more like, oh, this is going to be interesting to see people because I guarantee you lawyers are going to refer to this case many a time in the near future.
Yeah, they really are. And frankly, the jurors going off of the views on YouTube is completely wrong.
Of course it is, yeah.
What they need to do is actually have him submit his ad revenue, because that will give you how much he made off of those videos.
Ad revenue, donation, stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
that would be the more accurate number to go by. The
more accurate number would be, and I agree, the more accurate number would be how much money he made off of talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
The ad revenue.
They can do that. They can go back and he because he's got Streamlabs or whatever the fuck he uses.
Well,
So
Basement, you're going to say something?
I was going to say this case goes hand in hand with what's happening with Trump. The kind of like
Yes.
idea of like a witch hunt that is forever. And I mean, in some like this is one where there's obvious evidence because he's fucking look. Watch his show, watch what he did, right? So you can see kind of what he incited. And it's the thing, like the whole thing is when you have a platform. This is my problem, and it's been my problem for a long time. People with platforms, no matter if they're people like Alex Jones or people like LeBron James, where at some point in time there's a level of accountability because of that platform, because of your popularity. You have to be held in. If you're going to hold Alex Jones accountable for what he says, you're going to have to hold LeBron James accountable for what he says. He's not sent by fucking God himself to deliver us. He plays basketball.
It's funny you say it. No, I laugh because it's funny you say that because I talked to somebody about this recently, but it's of the idea of, in medieval times, you would have the people who would literally stand on soapboxes and attract a crowd of people around them. And this is just a blown up version of that. A much bigger, more blown up version of that. But that's what it is. And you're right. It's going to be, where does that accountability?
But it's the harassment.
Where is that?
It's the people that listen to him.
Anymore.
It's the people that listen to Alex Jones and harass the families. This is what the core of the issue is, but
there's no accountability anymore. There isn't, because like there's only accountability if there's like if people are searching for somebody to fucking hang them by the head, and that's like forced accountability. But nobody admits to what they fucking did anymore. It's today's society as a whole. There's no fucking accountability.
Alpha reminded me of his infamous quote.
So Alpha put in the chat, the law means absolutely nothing to any of these people. I don't know what
I think he's referring to like the celebrities and like the rich. Yeah.
Well, okay. No matter what they do, they have money. So they're going to lawyer up to cover up the blood on their hands, so to speak.
To an extent, yeah.
I don't think, Alex Jones is the one being reprimanded here. So he's got a lawyer up because he just lost $1 billion.
So two things. Alpha just gave a quote from Alex Jones,
it was on Joe Rogan.
that was great.
Well, he said, "Look, here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded." Yeah. And he literally said that on a Joe Rogan show. So anybody that takes this guy literal is got to be kind of fucking retarded.
He was calling the frogs gay, and I mean, it's obviously like an audience of people that are listening to him more for the humor. But I mean, you could take anybody's name and be like, I went out and killed like 18 kids because I watched Keeping with the Kardashians. Are they now going to be sued? You know what I mean? Like, how does it?
God, I have a busy weekend.
How does it kind of
shit? Now I'm sued.
I mean.
What were you saying about the quote?
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that the quote of the here's the thing with the I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of retarded. That's an Alex Jones quote, and it beautifully sums it up.
So Alex Jones, anybody that takes him literal is dumb.
But he's not alone. There's so many fucking people like that people decide to do terrible things and they use them as like
order for views.
That is not even in order for views. It's just like I'm going to do something terrible and my muse is Alex Jones. So can you really does it all go against that individual for doing something terrible? Because I mean the core of this problem is people going after people going through tragedies from Sandy Hook, and then linking it back to Alex Jones's popularity.
It's tragedies in general, especially when you're referring to like YouTube or podcasting or anything like that. They're looking for those views, so they're going to look for whatever they can get to get a pop out of people. We've seen it happen on the smaller YouTube channels that we've been a part of in the past. There's been several, including ourselves, that have done it.
And I will say this, and Heather will speak on this. I'm sure she's probably stealing her thunder, but Alex Jones speaking on the conspiracy theory that Sandy Hook is, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about the people that made that fucking video that 9/11 was fake and it was an inside job?
I mean, there's many videos.
That's even That's an even higher level. Same fucking thing. Nobody's calling them fucking
That's
people
our point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why should one person be held accountable for their actions and not others?
Because it's an individual, and because he had a platform prior, and because as many people like him, 18 times the amount don't.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact
just waiting for that opportunity
he
to really
knew
go after someone. It's the
that, and I
same
think
things
that
happened for Trump. The exact same thing.
I think that they nailed him for this one because he knew what he was doing, because he like I said, this has been a years of a legal process between being sued by other families and blah blah blah. So he knew what he was doing, and he knew how the stuff that he was saying was being interpreted. But the question is he accountable for that?
The last interview,
Yes.
the last interview, which wasn't that long, that I saw with this man, he was asked, "Did you apologize?" And he's like, "Yeah, I apologized. Then I apologized to him over and over and over again. But I'm the one. I killed the kids. I killed the kids." And he just kept repeating that forever, like an insane person.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, like, okay, apologize, but yet he kept on doing what he was doing.
No, this was after the fact. This is like after he's been charged for the $965 million or whatever the fuck it is.
So what I was gonna say was I did get glimpses of him on the stand, like videos of him, like when he was either testifying. Oh my! Like okay,
It's something.
The things that baffle me sometimes, as far as individuals and human beings, is level of intelligence. And when I say level of intelligence, I'm not saying this as like, oh, I'm smarter than anybody else. No, but like the fact that like Alex Jones, you have, like, love him or hate him, you have to give him props in some regard for his business structure, being able to take InfoWars to the fucking heights that it did. Granted, like, everything crumbled underneath, but he still got so fucking, like, he got relatively successful. But then when you fucking hear him on the stand, it's like, this guy made millions of dollars off of what off of like basically an infomercial for conspiracy. Like it makes me have an aneurysm. It makes me want to have an aneurysm. It blows my fucking mind. But it's the
intelligence to be business successful in certain ways, but also be like blatantly retarded. Like, like he doesn't understand. Like I don't. Like,
he said it too.
There's a part of him that just doesn't give a flying shit about most things. Like he could be staring down the barrel of a gun and probably not care.
What's that do?
But you know what the thing is when you say that, you relate it to what, like, everything, like, they're going after Trump. We talked about this before. Well, why are they going after Trump? Because of things that Trump does. They don't like him, and it's kind of a similar situation with. I mean, it's Alex Jones, because the similarities are just so fucking ridiculous.
There's like, similarities, but I mean, it's not. It's just like
it's not the same.
It's like if Alex Jones is like 18 times a Trump in terms of what he does.
I agree with you, but like, you know, when you take into situation of like, they keep on trying to find things on Trump. They keep on trying to do it. But they want him held accountable for his mean tweets and supposed business endeavors and all of this stuff. But where's the accountability for the other side?
You know what it is because people don't like bluntness, and they don't like kind of not skirting it. Not when you don't walk on eggshells, they won't like you. Like Biden's fucking tiptoeing around like a fucking being. I'm pretty sure his body is already exhumed, and somehow he's got
like everybody's fucking pansies these days. Like, oh my god, my feelings.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, you can only go so far in that direction before it's like somebody needs to tell you to shut the fuck up.
There does need to be a limit to the bluntness.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when it comes to politics here in America, as much as you people out there don't want to admit it, America is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes when it comes to conversations with business, the conversation is not going to be that friendly.
Listen, and honestly, when push comes to shove, I would much rather have a president that hurts my feelings through a mean tweet every once in a while versus a one that fucking doesn't even know where the hell he is.
You gotta look at like the first thing you look at is media and realize why politics is the way it is. I mean, you look
Yes.
at it and it's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know what the fuck her name is, but that big fat black woman is like the poster child for like body health and everything. So it's like,
Lizzo?
yeah, there you go.
Listen, I
Lizzo.
love Lizzo. You shut your fucking face.
Yeah, but I mean, I can still say she's a big fat black woman, and that doesn't have anything to do with loving her or not. Yeah, that's fine, but like, I feel like people find like comfort in the fact that she's just gigantically massive.
I don't think that it's necessarily that with Lizzo. I think people find comfort in the fact that she's perfectly comfortable with being herself.
But I feel like
True.
I think the celebration of it is a bit weird. Yeah, it's almost okay. I'd say it's as weird as celebrating someone that is like negative 8% body fat. It's just not a normal lifestyle.
Right.
Me. Well, I don't want to keep up too much. We still have a couple of other subjects we got to talk about. But speaking of Lizzo, speaking of sassy, big, fat black women,
my favorite.
Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, the opposite. Yeah, the fucking Skeletor from the closet.
This shit right here.
Mhm.
What I was talking about was where's the accountability for the fucking other side?
So there is a Twitter
I mean, the thing
video.
is, she can like threaten violence against the standing president and be like, whatever, everybody's doing.
Yeah, and nothing fucking happens. Like everybody's like, oh, it's okay. She was scared.
I want to see
It
like.
doesn't fit. She is somebody who is working very closely with the president and therefore can actually have access to him
Within punching
For
distance.
her making a threat to him is even more dangerous to start with.
You know what I'd love to see?
So here's the thing.
Oh my god.
This is all I'm going to say. Well, it's not all I'm going to say because I'm sure somebody's going to say something else. He is number 3. If the president goes down, if the vice president goes down, guess who the fucking president is?
Yeah.
You want her running your fucking country? Are you people fucking insane? Get the fuck out of here.
You know, not only did she fucking threaten the president, but she knew exactly what she was saying because she actually says in the video, I'll go to fucking jail. I'll get arrested. I don't care. These are the politicians that you people are voting in every fucking time. Between it's Nancy Pelosi and then those 3 fucking bitches, 3, 4, whatever,
Hocus
Omar
Pocus.
and all them.
Click, yeah.
I just noticed the picture.
The fucking power women. No, you're voting these people in. They have absolutely no problem committing crimes and breaking the fucking law knowingly breaking the law and getting arrested and having no problem with that. Yet they keep on getting reelected.
I would find it
the
like
whole
imagine
problem with Nancy Pelosi. The reason why she keeps getting reelected is because nobody runs against her.
And I think this year somebody might be running against her. I'm not sure.
I think she cannot serve any further. I don't think she can be re-elected.
She's at her limit as well.
I think she's at her limit, which I
and go fucking get off my TV. That's all.
she's got to return to running fucking.
No. She can run for as long as she wants, but I think she's.
Retiring.
She's got to return to Tales from the Crypt.
Look, I actually last night watched the thing on. It was I wouldn't say it was a documentary, but it was a video. I can't remember if it was on MSNBC or CNN. I was scanning through channels trying to figure out which channels I had to watch. And it was Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, and they were on the phone with the National Guard talking about, hey, we need to get soldiers over here. And these are your people that they're like, so they're yelling at the Secretary of the Army to get soldiers over here. And he's like, I can't, what do you want me to do? I'm not the one. I'm not the one that can deploy those soldiers to you. The National Guard belongs to the governors.
Well, and not only that, but
you need to get with the governor. He had to ask for permission to get, those resources, those assets. It doesn't just fucking snap your finger and it
I
fucking
was just
happens.
gonna say the same thing because we dealt with
So-
that during the riots in Minneapolis. Like everybody's like, "Where's the National Guard?" And it's like there's a process. It doesn't just go.
It doesn't happen. So people have really got to understand. I learned some, and I'm not going to speak on it.
Then why bring it up?
No, so these people seem to think you snap a finger and it fucking happens. This is why I don't think that they really know what the fuck they're doing where they're at.
They don't.
Well,
They really fucking don't. And as much as people back in New York fucking sat there and told me, oh, just write to Chuck Schumer and he'll find you someplace to go and he'll take care of this and he'll take care of that.
Oh,
I don't trust that motherfucker as far as I can fucking throw his fat
You
fucking
can
ass.
call your senator times and they're not.
Man, working for the government here, like the amount of people that were like, I want the name of who runs this fucking region. I'm like, okay, here it is, and here's their email, and here's their number. Call them. Good fucking luck, because I'm gonna report you to them. I'm like, go
They don't
for
even
it,
know who I am, but
bitch.
that
I'm doing phone calls at my work.
I am basically following what they told me to tell you. So, good luck.
Okay, you take Minnesota's governor when the riots were happening in 2020, right? Right after George Floyd, all the riots started happening.
I got to meet him.
George Floyd?
body.
He's a fucking idiot. Let me tell you that.
Yes.
Anyways, and the sad thing is I fucking voted for him because he wasn't like that when he was a fucking mayor. Like when he was a mayor down in my area, he wasn't fucking like that. You know, but once he became governor, he just became fucking retarded apparently. But anyway,
Because he got more power.
right, but like he had the power to call on the National Guard, and for three
Chucky.
fucking days. 3 fucking days we were watching police precincts get burned down. We were watching businesses get burnt down. And we're not talking about expensive businesses. We're talking about businesses owned by immigrants in a very poor neighborhood.
I knew you
that
guys
could
were
not
fucked
fucking-
when I saw that shit. I knew America
that
was fucked when like
We're burning down immigrant businesses.
There
You
were-
know,
politicians like applauding it. I'm like, as soon as that happened, I'm like, what the fuck?
and for 3 fucking days, we were sitting here as Minnesotans and we were going, where the fuck is the National Guard? Obviously there's a process, but 3 fucking days later, they finally got the National Guard out there. And that's because our governor was too busy hiding in his underground fucking bunker to pick up the phone and call the National Guard in, which he should have done the first fucking night of the riots.
To
Because
this
you could
day-
tell that it was going to get angry.
Let me know when it's safe to come out.
I'm just gonna say something. If he has a bunker and he's underneath it, I'm pretty sure they have a phone there, so he can call somebody.
Exactly.
So for him
Right.
to sit there and say I was in a bunker, or anybody
He
just
didn't flat out come out and say he was in a bunker. He said that he was in protective custody, but yet he was meeting with the mayor of
Mommy's
Minneapolis
bunker.
and all of that stuff. He was meeting with all these people, and for 3 fucking days, the mayor of Minneapolis was pleading with him, not just in person, but on the TV, on the news, everything. The mayor of Minneapolis was pleading with him. Please get the National Guard in here because like the police were getting hurt, firefighters were getting hurt.
I've got a
and he was
question.
doing nothing.
I've got a question for you guys. I'm the only non-American here. So like from my perspective, when I was watching this all unfold through a year, and there was like riots after the George Floyd thing, and then people like overtook a part of a city and tried to create like its own republic. So
Yep.
how long did that? The entirety of that whole thing was months, right? It went on for months. It wasn't really.
Okay, so
The thing is, it
no.
wasn't really
You're
covered.
talking-
Full month. No, it was
No.
almost 1 full month.
It was-
that
but
went
like
on.
no,
Minneapolis
the
was
riots
about
I'm
3
talking about
fucking-
throughout
No,
the
that-
U.S.
Okay, so here's the thing: the after George Floyd, the riots in Minneapolis alone.
Not
went
just
on for
Minneapolis
about-
though.
Well, I'm just saying, in Minneapolis alone, it went on for about a week and a half. But it to the extent of like burning shit down and stuff like that. I think it was like 4 days total, and then the 3rd day they brought in the National Guard, whatever.
And the
But the city that
Republic
you
of
really wanted-
Chaz or Chad or whatever it was.
Hold on.
As
You're talking about Portland.
I was just gonna say the city you really want to talk about is Portland because Portland
No,
was
that's the city he is talking
How
about.
long
is
did
Portland.
that
because
thing
he
go
said
on
after
for?
the George Floyd stuff. But anyway,
It was almost
still going on, isn't it?
Oh
Like,
my
because
God.
they still have.
No, it's not still happening. It went on. It did not go on multiple months. It went on for almost a full month before the governor finally realized, oh shit, we need to take care of this because there's people in there actually killing each other.
So
Right, but don't
I
they
guess
still have that little
my
area,
actual
I
question is, it's not really like I wanted to get a scale of how long things went on for. So we're gonna say a month, right?
Mhm.
Why like from an outsider's perspective, why did that kind of not get the consistent fucking coverage that something that happened in a couple
Oh, it
hours?
did.
No, not
Here
here.
it did.
Not here.
Here
Like,
it did.
Well,
no,
here's the
like
thing,
when
you
I say
gotta-
like
you
you
gotta
could
figure-
look at the comparison between that and something that happened on one day, January 6th.
You gotta
And
figure
that what
side.
are people still talking about?
You got to figure who you're talking about here, okay? That
Well, I'm going to tell you.
liberals out there.
I'm going to
offense,
tell you what.
liberals.
Portland
Okay.
is a very liberal city, and the mayor of Portland
Didn't see an
was
issue with it.
defending what these people were doing.
I just like
That's what I was
when you
trying to
take
say.
when you take American politics out of it and you just look at it from a distance, I'm like, something was terrible for a lot longer than something that was terrible for a couple hours.
Yeah.
You were
That's
right.
that's the problem.
Yet we're fast forwarding like a year later or whatever the fuck it is, and
That's the problem.
people are still talking about something that happened in a flash of the pan, and nobody gives a fucking flying shit about like almost like a insurgence of like their own populace.
Well,
So,
here's
again-
the thing. They're so concerned that January 6th was an attempt at, a takeover, right? But like you just,
What?
But like you just said, there was an actual takeover going on in multiple cities. Portland was the worst one, but multiple cities were doing it, and they were kind of patted on the back for doing it. But that's the problem with the fucking media these days,
but
because you're not hearing about the liberal side of it because they don't want you to hear about that
So
side.
for instance, you
Like,
take it away from America and you go somewhere else in the world. You go to Canada, and we currently have Saskatchewan and British Columbia and fucking Quebec and Newfoundland. They're all taken over, but there is a building being taken over in Ontario. Like the scope makes no sense.
it's the media. The media is very one-sided, and I think that a lot of people are starting to wake up to that now, because there are a lot of sites that are gaining traction because of their unbiased news reporting. Like, there's a lot of sites on YouTube and websites and all this other stuff that are gaining a lot of traction
Okay,
because
I
people
can
are
tell
getting
you.
sick and tired of the one-sidedness in the actual.
As soon as I saw like the whole riot shit going down, and like I said, the American politicians being like, not exactly saying go for it, burn these places down, steal everything, but being like the voices should be heard. And violence
you know
happens
what,
there.
though?
It's like, well, they're just getting their voice heard. It's like,
You know
okay,
what? Like,
but like fucking this is double standard to the max.
it's
It
really
is.
fucking sad too, because right now we're getting ready, we're gearing up to vote for governors, right? In a lot of states we're voting for governors.
Senators and congressmen.
Right. Minnesota is a governor's race right now. Waltz fucked up big time. Fucking 2020, he had just gotten elected and he fucking shit the bed so goddamn bad, caused millions of dollars in damage by not pulling the trigger immediately. And then he tried to hide all that shit, plus all the shit he did during the pandemic that just fucked all of us over. But yet he is still leading the polls. And you know why?
He's
Because
liberal.
because his opponent came out as being in support of banning abortion, which I do not agree with whatsoever. But that's the one thing that his opponent came out with. But that alone killed his fucking campaign. And Waltz is basically going to walk away with this fucking election, despite the fact that he literally shit the bed so many times.
And even if this guy is against abortion, I guarantee you this guy would still win. Do you want to know why? When's the last time Minnesota had a Republican?
That's true. Minnesota is a very liberal state, unfortunately. So
And it's not the whole state, because you
oh god, no.
Minnesota, you go look at Minnesota, and it's mostly red.
You know, it's insane because the entire state of Minnesota is red.
Minneapolis,
St. Paul,
Brainerd,
Duluth, and Rochester.
Duluth, Rochester, they're all big cities, and they're all about becoming, and they get all the sanctuary city money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
them.
insane if you actually look at a map of Minnesota, like an election map. It's insane because like the whole fucking state is red except for these blue blotches where the big cities are.
Mm-hmm. That's how our voting system works.
Fuck Nancy Pelosi is all I have to say.
So back to sassy Black Pelosi. What I was going to say, the thing I was going to ask originally was, I know Trump has to get called back, right? For they're having him come in to testify about the January 6th.
Correct.
So what do we think do we think over and under as far as is Pelosi's threat going to show up? Is that going to be a thing?
It's not going to matter.
That threat happened back on January 6th. And frankly, because he was still sitting president at that point in time, she should have been arrested on the fucking spot.
I agree. But
I agree.
Nothing's going to come about it, though.
Nothing's going to come out of it. And I don't think she's going to be at the hearings. So that goes before the Judicial Committee, and she's not a part of that.
If you ask me, and I understand that, like, senators, congressmen, all this stuff doesn't work like this, but it fucking should, in my opinion. The moment that she stood behind Trump during that speech and ripped that paper in half and showed total disrespect on national TV for a sitting president, she should have lost her position, because that proved that she would not do everything possible in order to keep that president safe, in order to support that president. So therefore she was not doing her fucking job.
But I will tell you this, they wouldn't remove her from position because those people that voted for her supported it.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's the problem in America at the moment, because people are forgetting what the actual government is supposed to be there for and what their position in the government, like what their assignment is. If they are in a person in Nancy Pelosi's position as Speaker of the House, she is the third in line for the fucking presidency, like you pointed out earlier. Her whole point in her job is to support the fucking president. I mean, not the whole point, but a major point of her job is to support the fucking president, no matter if she agrees with their politics or not. That is her fucking job. And so many of them are not doing their fucking job.
I'm going to say this.
Go ahead, Heather.
I'm going to say this. When she ripped up that speech, she wasn't just ripping up the things that she thought were lies by the president. She was also ripping up a little black girl getting a scholarship from the president, somebody who's supposedly racist. A black the president recognizing a black soldier for his
diet plan.
Yeah. For getting clean and all that, and rejoining his family and getting an award. She ripped all of that up.
So
it was a slap to the face of America as a whole, and nobody wants to see it as what it was.
But that's because everybody that supports, because when they vote for they vote for her position.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and
voted for her. She will never be removed from that position.
And the sad part is I'm sure a lot of people are going to listen to this and they're going to be like, oh my God, like this is very, like you're talking about one-sidedness. Like you guys sound like you're all Republicans or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. Anybody that knows me knows that while I identify as a Republican at the moment, because I agree much more with their politics at the moment, I have a lot of liberal thoughts, but my point is I'm an independent thinker and thinking outside the box, which is what people need to fucking do. Stop labeling yourself as, oh, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, blah, blah, blah. Stop fucking labeling yourself. Take a step back and look at what both parties are doing. Neither one of them are fucking innocent, but there is obviously one party that is blatantly disrespecting America and Americans time after fucking time after time and time again. And yet you people out there are going along with it blindly. You're blindly following them with whatever the fuck they want because we're woke culture.
There
The
was
Italians,
a thing, there was a thing called there was a thing that was liberalism that was good in the past, but it no longer really exists. Now I feel like being like fully the way that the new age liberal is, being fully that way is more pat on the back. We're part of a herd, and it's almost like suckling on the teat of the fucking world. Where the other side, it's like I honestly, it's gonna sound fucking weird, but like one side is like I'm gonna abuse you to your face, and the other side is I'm gonna emotionally abuse you for years.
Well, so no, one side is I'm going to abuse you to your face, but the other side is I'm going to stab you in the fucking back.
It's it's a polar opposite ends of different types of kinks. Great, got it. All right, awesome.
Exactly.
So if you're gonna here, I'm gonna give people a piece of advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to do it.
Mute.
What you should vote for is policy. What did you think is most when it comes to voting? If more money in your pocket, you vote on who you think is going to put more money in your pocket. Mostly, some of the times, it's Republican. It's going to personally put money in your.
Well, the
problem is,
if you want to vote for a bunch of social programs that will keep you sitting on government, relying on the government for help, vote Democrat. If that's what you want to do, that's how you vote. Don't vote for one guy because you don't like him. Because he may be the guy that you want or
I
need.
can't say that because I voted for Trump.
Trump smells.
The majority
to begin with because of fucking Hillary. There was no fucking way I was voting for
Hillary. Exactly.
But that's my point.
The majority of people will vote for a contest between who they like and who they don't like without knowing anything about what they're actually pushing. The next people will vote for policies that only impact them, and then the people that you need to look at the most are the people that are voting for policies that will make way for the future of what they want, hopefully. Most people never get past step one, like 99%.
Agreed. I don't vote that way, though. I vote for policy. So I do want to say this, I'll shut up. I do want to say this. So Alpha said, and so the difference between Minnesota and Louisiana is the rural parts of Louisiana outnumber the metropolitan areas in Louisiana.
Yeah, he's absolutely right.
In Minneapolis probably outnumbers all of the rural in Minnesota. It's the same as Wisconsin. Milwaukee, the population in Milwaukee is, I want to say, 100 times bigger than where I live.
Yeah,
it's more than that, actually.
Minneapolis and St. Paul alone would be enough to win the entire state. If it was just based on those two because of the populace.
Which is why Democrats win Minnesota.
And in Louisiana, because like Aaron, like he knows I'm from there. I know how it is down there. And a lot of people do live in country in Louisiana. That's just like, but the problem is too, in Minnesota, a lot of people that are in these rural areas, they don't go to vote because they don't think that their vote's going to count. And I'm like, well, that's just a fucking stupid, like, that's just a stupid philosophy right there because every vote's going to fucking count in the long run as long as they're not rigged. But what I was going to say, this is the last thing I'll say about this. When you want to vote, I encourage everybody, go out and vote. Go out and vote, but educate yourself first, okay? Don't vote for somebody just because you identify as a Democrat or a liberal, or don't vote for somebody just because you identify as a Republican. Take all of that out of the situation, okay? Take a step back, take a good look, an unbiased look at both of your candidates, and take the time to do the research into their fucking philosophies, their policies, like JP was saying, and look at what they are actually about as a actual person. then judge your vote on that. Stop voting because I'm a Democrat. I got to vote Democrat all the fucking time. Got to do it. Got to do it.
I did not vote for Trump because I liked him.
Here's the thing. I
policy.
Not, and that's exactly why.
I don't
the first time I voted for him because there was no fucking way I was going to vote for Hillary. Second time I voted for Trump because I liked his policies.
I don't like Trump.
However,
I think he's a shitty person, but you don't have to be a good person to make the right decisions about certain things.
Ross Perot.
Legalize slingshots, or I'm not coming.
Here's the thing. Trump is a fucking douche canoe. He is a douche canoe. But when it comes to fucking government policies, he's one of the top in the field. Like, and that's coming from a guy that was not a fucking career politician. And that was one of the main reasons why I voted for him too, was he's not a fucking career politician. No, but like in the same sense, when I vote, this last time that we voted for president, let's put it in there. Okay. I voted for Trump. There were a lot of senators, congressmen, everything else on the ballot that I voted Democrat because I liked their philosophies more than I liked their opponents' philosophies. You know, so stop fucking looking at the fucking label. That's all I'm saying.
In all honesty, it's not really the face that makes anything. It's just like everything is decided by an assembly.
But the problem is today's society doesn't want to take the time to fucking research anything. They depend on the news, YouTube, they depend on media and other people to tell them what they should think.
What were you going to say, Heather?
I'm going to take a quote from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I love that show.
There are more than just two parties in this country. People need to stop forgetting about that.
Ross Perot. I know he's dead, but Ross Perot.
Party Mania, the board game. Get it.
I would have voted for Ross Perot.
Let's vote Bob
Commander
Ross.
Aziz. Commander Aziz.
Commander Aziz will fix the world.
I'm Carly.
We as a country right now need to stop and put both Democrats and Republicans in their place and realize this is not just a fight between the two of you. All right? We got to stop that. And the only way we can do that is voting third party.
The problem with that is they are not part of the debate, which sucks.
Just stop fighting with each other. Like, everybody, just stop fucking fight. We're never going to get anything solved by fighting with each other. You heard me, fucker. But I don't understand. Like, you're voting for politicians and you're following celebrities and everything.
I mean, you're too far gone. People are fighting with their family over this shit. It's like,
yeah, Thanksgiving's fucked now.
People are losing friendships. Like, I mean, okay, I'm gonna call her out, and everybody knows she's a liberal, but Cora is one of my best friends. Like, literally, she's very fucking close.
Backwards.
She self-admittedly identifies as, you know, a liberal. She votes majority Democrat. Everybody in this fucking community knows that. Mm-hmm. Do you see me and her fighting? Yes. Oh, we disagree on a lot of stuff, but we don't look at each other for who we vote for. We don't judge each other based on that. That is what a true fucking friendship is. When you can get past of your disagreements and all of that stuff. But in today's society, people are literally losing friendships. They're losing family members over politics.
I mean, I'm blocking Gina right now.
They drank too much of the sauce, man.
No, I agree with you. It just
makes no sense because, like, I put myself in that situation, and, like, even though Cora and we disagree on so many things, there's also so many things that we agree on, you know, so, like, and if you actually take the time to actually listen to somebody, you will realize really quick that, like, your moral code is actually a lot more similar than you think it is.
Yeah,
You're not
going to the problem is people, like, they just, if you live in the media's world, everybody's divided as shit. But in the reality of things, most people are very similar with slight disagreements.
Yes, exactly. And the other problem is we've cut back so much in certain areas in schools that debate club was one of those things that was taken out. And frankly, debate should be something that should be taught in school.
Should be required. It should be a class by itself, because especially in today's society, because not enough people know how to friendly debate. Everybody gets angry.
Then use
Look,
a shiv. And
everybody takes their own opinion as fact and
then-
tries to
and
get off.
then-
Oh no, your opinion is wrong. My opinion is an actual fact, so you can shut your fucking mouth.
You are offending me by speaking.
well, I'm
Listen,
blocking you anyway. So.
anybody that listens to this show a weekly fucking basis, this show, any other show that we have
God
on
bless
this
you.
channel,
Oh.
anybody, we are constantly fucking going back and forth at each other, whether it be in a fun way or we're actually debating something. JP and I debate shit a lot. Yeah, JP and Heather are some of my closest fucking friends because we respect each other on a different level. We may not agree on everything, but we can actually take that out of the situation and look at each other as human beings.
Yeah.
I hate you all, so.
I mean, we hate
Equally.
each
It's not just
Equally.
us that you hate basement, you hate the entire fucking world. So why should we be surprised?
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing he doesn't hate is his dog and a teddy bear.
What have to do with your profile picture? Are we good to get out of this political trife that we've been in for the last?
God
Okay.
save me from this hell.
Cool. So Joe Biden. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It was a talking point, though. Oh God.
No, I am.
No,
I'm gonna,
can't do it.
Nope. Fuck it. I'm gonna be switch.
Fuck Biden for tonight. We'll talk about him next week because he's gonna do something through this
Yeah, he's
entire
gonna do something else stupid.
So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the reins and do a little bit different of these getting to know us questions. How does that sound for you guys?
Get to know me. I
You think
refuse
you
to
know me?
answer all of these questions.
Listen, if
Perfect.
our political discussion before didn't get you to know us, then let's do it.
You think
Well, I had
you
to
know
skip an
me, know
entire
me.
section.
5 feet
I had
below
to
me,
skip-
know me.
Listen, I had to skip an entire section after that. What we just went through for the past fucking hour and a half. First question: what do people misunderstand about you most?
They misunderstand me yelling when I'm actually just talking.
No,
It's
you.
a New Yorker.
New York, we
Yeah,
talk loudly so you can hear us over the fucking cars.
And understandable. So
I think that people. RGP, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I'm still
processing.
thinking.
I was
He's
gonna say,
processing.
I think that people misunderstand me because they always think that I'm such a nice person, and don't get me wrong, I am.
No,
but
you bitch.
You push those right buttons, and it's like fuck
if
you.
you
I'm
push
done.
the right buttons, then World War III will fucking break out. Like, I'm an empath, so
I'm not one to die, but
I'm an empath, so I can feel for anybody that's going through a tough situation or whatever, to the point where I'll actually start fucking crying watching something on TV or listening to somebody's story or something. It hits me that hard. But in the same sense, I have a whole lot of fuck around and find out, and it takes a lot to get me to that fucking position. However, if you get me there, there's no fucking coming back for a while.
I've been there. I haven't been there, but I've been on a call with Basement and Gina. Actually, it was on this channel, and I was doing a stream, and it was about healthcare. So, you remember that one?
I don't remember this.
I remember.
Oh, you were mad?
I do not remember, but like another thing
I
that
never
people need to
forget.
just-
I'm
and
not
more
one
thing
for
that other
memory.
people- one more thing that to go with this, if you get to the fuck around and find out part of me, you will find out really quick that it terrifies me. But when I get to a certain level of anger, I fucking black out and I don't remember anything that I fucking said.
It's
I will never hurt anyone. I won't lash out and hit anyone or anything like that. I literally, my tongue can throw slashes at people
Slashes?
when I get to that. I'm not even kidding. I can fucking cut your throat with my verbiage when I am at that point. And
Did you wake it?
I won't remember anything that
I
fucking
can't
said.
die.
I get to the point. I get to the point where I get so angry. If I say I'm done and walk away, leave me alone for a minute because I will hurt feelings. Otherwise,
Yeah, like I will
Feel the
literally
steam
slice
in
and
the
dice
room.
somebody apart with my fucking verbiage, and you wouldn't think that by just talking to me on a normal basis. Because especially now, because I try not to let my anger get to that point anymore. Because when I was younger, I had a fucking bad anger problem, and it scared the shit out of me. But I black out when I get to a certain level.
What was the question again, Connor?
what is the one thing people most misunderstand about you?
That
Yeah,
you
what do
remember
people
everything, JP. Just say that.
My memory.
I mean well. I may not sound like it all the time. You'll never ever hear me
That's
say
perfect.
most of the people know that I'm a softie at heart. Heather knows because I am a softie at heart. I may sound like an asshole, but I am a softie at heart. Otherwise I wouldn't have the job.
He just got out.
Yeah, but I heard he said the job.
Yeah,
I
got it. Yeah.
We get it. Yeah.
Well, and the thing is,
Sasquatch looking
like,
bitch.
AP, I think that like with
No,
how
but
many times you and I have gone back and forth, I think it's pretty blatantly obvious that you're a softie at heart because like if you actually felt the way that you come off sounding, you and I would no longer be friends. Like because we would have fought endlessly.
I
feelings.
feel I have my views and I will stand by my views 100%.
Especially
But
now that
I respect, I will never tell you that I don't respect your view, but you have to understand that I'm not going to back down from a fight. I've done it too much when I was younger and I won't do it anymore. So I don't back down. I am definitely a softie at heart. That's something that people don't.
Another fun fact.
They think
about
I'm a hard ass. I'm really not.
Another fun fact about JP is like sometimes I'll just poke him just because I can.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know he's such a softie at heart and he's not going to take it to heart. But like if he's in a really bad mood and you know, yelling or
One
whatever.
broken finger later.
Sometimes I'll just poke him, you know, and you would think that would send him over the edge, but instead it gets him to crack a smile. He'll be like, I fucking hate you, you know?
Oh, well, I mean, like a prime example is when Shinsuke lost at WrestleMania it was Asuka lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania. Although I didn't mind Charlotte losing, it was the way Asuka lost. Shit, everybody made fun of me.
No, the best one was when Shinsuke lost because that's when Bobbitt sat there and went, run! And he just disappeared off the fucking camera.
Oh, fucking Bobbitt.
What about you, Mr. Basement?
What about you, Mr. Marvel? I don't really. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I'm trying to deep within my soul, but there's nothing there.
You had the longest time to think about this, even more than
To
JP.
be honest with you, I forgot the question.
He acts like a softie, but he's a dickhead.
Well, kind of.
Misunderstanding.
Perfect way to describe Basement is he is the most New York Canadian you will ever meet in your life.
So I'm a dickhead.
No, but like I'm
not fucking sorry.
I mean, I see like you can definitely be a dickhead when you want to be, but you do it on purpose. So like, I don't think that he's like an inner dickhead deep down inside.
You're
I
an
think
evil genius.
He does that.
You are.
He does that in order to make people think he's a dickhead.
I've got a dickhead deep down inside.
No, there's a couple of things that I don't know if Basement's caught it, but there's things that he'll say like in like a group stream where we're gaming or whatever the hell it is, and he doesn't think I catch it, but I fucking catch it.
You don't catch it. Nobody knows. It's a nuance.
Here's the thing I can say about Basement. If you ever want anybody that you like talk religion about and not get into an argument and actually hear both sides, Basement's the one to fucking talk to because we've had how many times have we done this, Basement?
Oh man, can't go down that path.
There have been nights where we were on the fucking Skype or Discord for like 3-4 fucking hours. One time I think it was until like 7 o'clock in the morning, just having a deep discussion about religion, not just Christianity, but just religious views in general, and it like God and like all of this other stuff.
All right, new podcast. Jesus Takes the Wheel, starring Basement and Gina.
And we're off the road. And we're dead.
No, but like, because
you didn't pray hard enough.
I'm Christian. I identify as Christian, but like
I
Basement doesn't.
identify as Mother Mary.
No, the reason why I bring this up is because I have never talked to anybody that does not identify as Christian that can actually hold a conversation and bring plausibility to all of that stuff. It was a good, interesting conversation. A little tidbit for me about it.
It's a new podcast coming soon.
Jesus has taken the wheel.
Jesus take the.
Other Gina has crossed over from derailed. Oh God.
Let me
Hide your
see. I don't wanna-
kids.
hide your kids. Hide your wives.
boyfriends.
What? I'm trying to think. There's a bunch of these questions here, but I want to feel like the best fielding ones.
Wait, you didn't
ooh.
answer.
I was going to say, you didn't answer the question,
Yeah.
sir.
Well, I didn't answer. I didn't know. I forgot what the question was, to be honest.
Well, in that case, moving on.
What is the question?
What do people misunderstand about you the most?
Gay?
You do come off as like super bisexual sometimes.
I was talking about Connor. How dare you attack me like that?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. There's been some times where I'm like, it's
Just
too
comfortable
bi.
with my sexuality, okay?
Like, dude, I've known this man for how many fucking years? Is he bi? I'm so fucking confused right now.
Hey.
Bye. Anyway, we love you anyway around.
God damn it.
Take the wheel before Christ kills us.
Jesus, take the wheel.
It's all you, man. I don't know. I think it's not really misunderstand it. It's kind of common things that I'm outgoing and I'm goofy as much as anybody else on here, but yeah, everyone's got their own stuff and their own problems, and I got mental health issues just like everybody else. I don't want to make it like a sympathetic, like, oh, woe is me, but yeah, I think that's the big thing is that, everyone's got their own stuff going on. I don't really know what else there is for me as far as misunderstanding. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. I'm not on camera, which makes that joke even funnier, but the point is you get my point.
Here's the thing with Connor, he sounds super fucking hyper all the time, and 97% of the time
I think we're just gonna end that sentence right there. Like,
No.
when I met you, I thought you were super hyper. I still do. Oh, okay.
No, but like getting to know you, I don't think it's so much being super hyper. I think it's just like a lot of like OCD, maybe a little ADHD. I don't fucking know, but you're hyper, and I love it.
Bunch of vowels and consonants mixed in there somewhere.
Yes, but I fucking love it because we wouldn't want you any other way.
No.
Out of everybody on this call, I am the only one that's met you in person, and I will tell you right now, what you see on the streams is really him.
Yep.
God,
it's no bullshit.
I'm actually a big fat black woman.
I cannot wait to meet this man, and watch him just bounce off the fucking walls. Like,
oh, Heather would have actually met Baby, but he.
Yeah, that same time.
Fucking slingshot.
America stopped me.
Because they knew Dennis the Menace was around the corner.
It was your stupid fault. You had a slingshot.
They were just lost in my trunk. I was like, come on. A slingshot. What are you going to shoot out of that? All the ammo I don't have. Fucking America.
Yogi, run.
You're not allowed to bring that fucking slingshot.
Ooh, this one's a good one. What is your biggest failure, and what did you learn from that experience?
My entire life. Nothing. That's my
everybody
answer.
at once now. Oh, there's basements. Basements already said. That was quick.
Mm-hmm.
What is my biggest failure?
What is your biggest failure, and what did you learn from that experience?
Oh, Christ. I mean, I'm bipolar with severe manic depressive disorder. Do we really want to ask me this?
You can just say pass.
Now, this is me being the soft heart that I am, and the reason why I am is my biggest failure is I was not there for the first 3 years of my first life. It's still just before everybody understands this choice. I didn't know she was pregnant.
Ooh.
And I joined the Army and joined active duty. But I was not
right.
there for the first 3 years of my life. And what did I learn from that failure? I said, fuck it, let's have another kid. Now I'm experiencing what it was like to have a mini, because my oldest daughter and Wendy, exactly the same. They look the same. They almost look identical. If you put Wendy and my other daughter, and I'll say her name, Danielle, next to each other.
Before, dude.
The seed is strong.
They are like damn near spitting images of each other.
The Baker gene is very strong.
Which is so weird because I look at Wendy and I see Heather.
Yeah, I do too.
If you see Danielle,
if you get a clear look at Danielle, she looks very similar to me as well.
Oh,
Which is fucking creepy.
She is
That must have been a
not.
mind fuck.
Now keep in mind, Danielle is 29.
Yes.
Okay, Heather is 37. Okay, I did not. So let's not go there. All right. So Danielle looks a lot like me. Wendy, trust me, she acts just like me, and the hair.
Isn't it the worst when they act like you?
No,
not like you personally. Oh my god, I hate it when my daughter throws an attitude like me.
Civil War.
Oh god.
But my biggest what I've learned from that is it's made me the softie that I really truly am, and it's made me appreciate what I have, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. I think.
Oh, that fuckers.
Listen, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Okay. Let's just get that out right there.
Whatever you're comfortable talking about on air. I might to stress that too. It's not whatever.
Yeah. My biggest mistake is not going to school right after I had my son, because my parents wanted me, because I was 19 when I had him, 18 when I got pregnant. I found out I was pregnant like a month and a half before I graduated from high school. By the time I told my parents, it was June right after I graduated. My dad wanted me to stay at home, and they would help out with the baby while I went to school, got a job, whatever I wanted to do. That's probably my biggest mistake, in my opinion. One of them, anyway. Like I said, I've made many, but one of my biggest mistakes is just not taking that opportunity to get my life in order at that stage, because now here I am, 39, and my life's a fucking mess. It's a beautiful mess, don't get me wrong, but it's a fucking mess. And just by taking that step, I might have been able to avoid a whole lot of heartbreak. So that's mine.
You still learn from it though.
Yeah, you live and you learn. And I mean, I'm a big believer that everything in life happens for a reason, whether it is good or it is bad. It is all steering you in the direction that you are supposed to be going. But with that, because I mean, if I would have done that, then, I probably wouldn't have had my daughter, because I wouldn't have been in the place that I was at the time that I was to, date the person I was in order to get my daughter. So things obviously happen for a reason. But when I look back and I think of all the fucking mistakes that I made, because like I said, there were a lot, that's probably the earliest. But the biggest one is getting married at we all know what happened when I was married. So that's my biggest fucking mistake. But let's move on. Somebody else fucking do this, because I'm rewinding all the mistakes I've made in my life, and it's not good.
Basement Heather.
I think my biggest failure was not forcing my dad to tell me more about what was going on after my mom died. And us ending up losing the house, and me finding out that we had 3 days to move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's just that there was that whole big mess.
But in the same sense, like, I mean, I know you said that that's your biggest failure, but in the same sense, you look at what happened since then.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you want to look at life and you see fucking lemons, then you're gonna see lemons. But if you want to get lemonade, then you're gonna fucking get lemonade.
Hey, I like lemons. God damn it.
Well, you know what I'm
I'm
saying
not
though. Like,
surprised by that.
if you want to look at it, I always say life is a beautiful fucking disaster, right?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
anyway.
you're right. I was just being a smart ass, Gina.
I know. I'm just teasing.
And you're
too.
always a smart ass. So what's the difference?
I think what I learned from that was the communication in any relationship, whether it be father-son, father-daughter, parent-child, husband-wife, boyfriend-girlfriend. It's something that needs to be an open road in both directions.
Agreed.
Definitely agree with that.
Basement.
And
Connor.
No, you gotta go.
I'm passing on this one too. Fuck this.
I mean, it's also depressing.
I mean,
I picked all the
it's
business.
just failure.
God damn it! Some upbeat shit.
Fine,
I
last one will
don't
be
know.
upbeat,
It's hard.
goddammit.
It's hard to say like biggest failure, but there's certain things that I think I think I should have. I would have loved to pursue like a family or having family life when I got to 30 or around there, and I didn't really take the plunge there. There was opportunities to do so, and it didn't really happen. I could say like life happened, and some things did. I can 100% say there's certain things that like held me back from doing that, but that was one of the bigger ones. And I mean, it's never too late to look at JP.
It's never too late for you because you're a dude. You can literally have a baby at like 70.
But I don't want to have a baby at 70.
I'm just saying, it's a plausibility.
AP did the fucking wrestlers retire bullshit where he's like, I'm dead, last match, and then 10 years later, ta-da!
Out of retirement.
He's
Just like-
Edge! You think you know him.
It's just like the Undertaker thing, but it's his penis.
And just like the Undertaker, I just don't know when to quit.
His penis is
His
Terry
penis
Funk.
came out of the
It's prison
darkness.
again.
His penis came out of the darkness wearing the hat.
Oh God! Why are we talking about
You know,
Dung.
I hate my brain at times because I just imagined it.
I know.
Why is
And
he
then
wearing a gong in the bedroom? Oh,
Hey.
fuck.
you have the
Hey,
dong.
Oh
Dong.
my God! Literal dong.
Yeah, I guess like there's still time to do it, and I'd rather not. Like I mean, I feel like there's like you guys are all have kids and stuff like that. I feel like there's a second life to be had with children.
Oh, of course.
That
you can have Wendy.
no, well, fine.
Wow, turn on the dime on that one.
Easy part now. She is literally at the point now where she is talking. So you have it easy. Try doing it when
Yeah,
they're
no.
fucking infant. You have to figure out what cry means.
Yeah, I know. I feel like that. Like there's a terrible part of it all, but like I mean, I feel like overall you get to relive some of the things from your like. What does everybody remember as being the best part of their life? Usually, like childhood and growing up.
Yeah.
So you kind of get to experience that secondhand with kids, and not having that is like, well, yeah, I could do this and that, but it's like you kind of
Not
like there's
overrated.
part of your life that's empty.
Yeah.
Like,
Overrated.
I feel like, okay, and I realized I was like 28 when I had Bella, right? But even the change between 19 and 28, I feel like when you're older, you do so much better at parenting.
Well,
That's just my
life.
Or
You have
life-
you have
life
life
skills.
patience
Yes, you have the
No, you
skills,
don't.
but it was
a bit
so
more
different.
than if you were fucking 16 years old and pregnant.
Oh, well, yeah.
It was so different. Like when the kids were babies, and I understand Austin, he was colicky and he had a lot of medical issues and stuff when he was a baby, so it was just a fucking nightmare. But just my patience level alone and being able to detect, like Heather said, what cry means what, and all of this stuff, it was such a different experience when I got older and I had Bella versus when I was battling with Austin, because it was battling because it was a constant fucking battle. One, I was doing it on my own and with a colicky baby, and it was a fucking nightmare. So I was terrified when I was pregnant with Bella. But being older and having that level of knowledge, even at 28, was such a big difference. So
But
like
it's also
it's
like
never
this.
like you said, it's never too late, and you would probably benefit a little bit better from being older.
I feel
having
like
kids now.
the enjoyment would come from like the stages of life. There's going to be terrible stages, and there's going to be certain
Seeing
stages
all the
that
milestones they're breaking.
but it's also like
Yeah.
like I like a Marvel Roundtable and stuff like that, right? So like being able to experience it. If I was gonna watch, like Connor, you get to watch a lot of the Marvel movies with your kid, and that's gonna add a lot of like you get their excitement kind of infused in your
Yeah,
own.
it's
you know?
it's
We
fucking
see it.
contagious.
Yeah.
But we see it all the time. Like, Heather and JP, they'll upload videos of Wendy when, like today, she tried Pop Rocks for the first
Yeah.
time. We all remember the first time we tried Pop Rocks. So that's just that. It's just the smallest little thing, but it's
Man.
so much joy for a fucking parent or even an older adult that's watching this child do this.
I just feel like there is like enjoyment in not having certain things like be attached to you so you can make your own decisions into your 30s, but there does come that tipping point where it's like I don't know how much further I want to continue not having certain life experiences or not experiencing certain things that I mean I don't want to be fucking 50 years old alone, you know, like with like no kids. It'd be kind of weird. I feel like you'd be much better like leaving this fucking earth knowing that like you had family.
I
It's
hear
just
you,
in
man.
Canada's population just rose a couple percentages. I don't know how that happened, but fucking weird.
So what about you, Connor?
This answer might surprise some people, but okay, Fabe. I consider that in the concept of being a big successful whatever personality, YouTube, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But what I did learn from that experience was it made me appreciate and cherish the right it helped with my prioritization, helped me appreciate and cherish the right things and people and relationships in my lives more than I wasn't before.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
Yeah, I said that right.
No, I can see that because like I mean there's other like I could kind of like add on to that, not to the sense of okay Fabe or YouTube stuff, but like kind of trying to
I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, trying to make it and trying to like you see some success in it, but then you also see like a certain level of what it takes away from you.
Yeah, it got to the point where it's like, yeah, and I've said this to you guys, I've said this to everybody, like doing this stuff with you guys is such a fucking blast because it's fun and that's what the shit should be about at the end of the day. Not me having to worry about what tags and what timing and make sure I get the right thumbnail and oh shit, what did Seth shit in the ring? I gotta make sure that gets on there somehow. And it got fucking, it got too much. And so I was able to slow things down and I was able to appreciate things, people, relationships a lot more. But since I did two bad or depressing questions, I got to do at least one positive one.
I actually, I don't know if people know this. You guys remember Robbie Coltrane, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Hagrid.
He died yesterday.
Yeah, Hagrid.
Mm-hmm.
IP Hagrid.
And he was not old, 72.
No, he wasn't that old.
72.
Yeah, yep.
Passed away yesterday at the age of 72.
That's crazy.
Saw a lot of.
Let everybody know. I didn't know we'll do that. We'll talk about that next week, I suppose. I just wanted to point that out. I did not know.
I did see. What do you call it? I did see like there's a scene from one of the movies. I think it was the first or second one where it's like, Hogwarts won't be the same without you, Hagrid. I'm like, okay. Even I'm not a super Harry Potter fan, but I'm like, fuck, that was a little bit of like a
man. When we
get the fucking heart.
When we get to doing
the most beloved character on fucking Harry Potter, like everybody loved Hagrid.
When we get to doing the roundtable on Harry Potter, and we talk about like we've talked about in the past casting choices. Man, that is like out of the park for them.
Yeah, no shit.
Agreed.
So we'll end on a more positive question since we've been so up. We went from politics to depression. Great segue, Connor. Good job. All right.
Great.
What is your favorite holiday movie, and what does that say about you?
I know Heather's.
Everybody should know mine because I wear it on my arm.
Yep.
I wear it for Christmas, and it teaches you to never try to be anything other but yourself.
Favorite.
I could think she said I was way the fuck off. What was that, JB?
I was just correcting Heather.
Listen, there's so many favorite Christmas movies.
I know it's a tough one. Now, when I say holiday, it doesn't. I mean, obviously, it implies Christmas, but you can do.
Christmas is my favorite holiday. So
the thing is, the movies that I've seen, like I can't even. The problem is, like, there's so many movies attached to the holiday that I've gotten fucking never want to watch them ever again.
I know we did a tournament about it. Remember?
Yeah, we did.
We did too.
Halloween ones weren't so bad, but the Christmas ones.
Christmas one was taxing.
That's that's when you get the reruns upon reruns upon reruns, and the whole family gets together and rerun and rerun and rerun.
You know, I have to. Okay, and I know JP hates this movie, but so I'm sorry, JP. But in order to encompass me completely, I would have to probably say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is my favorite. Yeah, I know, but you know,
I might
don't
be
hate
there
it,
with
but
you
we
on
understand.
that one, to be honest.
But and the reason why I say that is because Chevy Chase's character in that movie is me as a whole. Like, I am so fucking excited when it comes down to Christmas, but then the stress of Christmas gets me. Like, I go into fucking panic mode, right? But I still have this love for Christmas. It's like a love-hate relationship. Like I always say, when I buy my first house, I feel so fucking bad for all of my neighbors because my house is going to be lit up like the fucking New York Tower or like the New York Christmas tree.
It's the same thing when I get a house. I'm like, we're gonna see this. We're gonna have complaints from
If
3
they're
times
gonna see
over.
it from fucking space, like it's ridiculous. That's how much I fucking love Christmas. So I relate to Chevy Chase's character in that movie the most.
JP Baseman.
I mean, I might be with Gina there because like there's a bunch of Christmas movies. The only thing is like when it comes down to it, there's certain ones that I've seen way too much, and I've seen that movie too much, but it's still one I would prefer to watch more than the
Over
others.
everything else.
To be honest, it's like the best of the bunch, I guess. And I'm trying to
Not
think
only
of
that,
like
but
Halloween movies.
I don't think it is the best of the bunch.
well, I was looking at
It's
like,
not the
for
best.
me-
It's not the best movie of the bunch. It's the
your
most.
favorite?
It's the most rewatchable for me because
Yeah,
it
but
has
what is
humor.
the most relatable is the
I mean, if you're
question,
gonna
'cause
do
it's
like Beautiful Life or one of those, then yeah, it's rewatchable. But there comes a point where it's like,
You mean It's a Wonderful Life?
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So for me, it was either between National Lampoon's Vacation or Elf because everybody
Not
knows how I
Elf.
get when
Not
it comes
for
to
me.
Christmas. However, National
watch that
Lampoon's is much more fucking relatable because you have that stress factor in Christmas.
I'm gonna go with Jack Frost.
Oh, fuck! I
I knew he was gonna
forgot.
fucking say it. I knew it.
It's both Halloween and
And
Christmas.
Christmas.
I was just gonna say, which one is it? Ma, look, Ma, I'm a Picasso, or is it Michael Keaton?
It's definitely not Michael Keaton.
Connor, why don't you go first? I'll go last.
Hop. The Easter movie. No, I'm fucking kidding.
I was gonna say because funny. What?
I could see you being Russell Brand.
Home Alone 2.
Okay.
I know. I am. I'm not saying it's everyone's favorite. It's mine. The reason being, number one, I am chaos incarnate, so I can relate to Macaulay Culkin quite a lot. And number two, and I might have mentioned this when we were doing the tournament, the visuals of New York at Christmas time are fucking
they're so great.
really hard to top. And I know Heather might be rolling her eyes because she lived there, but
I can tell you it only looks that beautiful at night.
I know. Boston's similar.
I mean, that's Christmas. That's most Christmas lights in general.
Yeah, but Boston. Touche.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just saying.
Boston's similar, but something about the New York atmosphere. Plus, Tim fucking Curry. Come on.
True.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Mine is it should show is a Christmas Story.
Oh yeah. Christmas.
I love so the thing about it, he's got to write a theme about Christmas, but he's essentially telling the story of him writing a theme, which is essentially he's writing a theme about what he wants for Christmas. I just love the movie, and it gives nostalgic feel. I love the nostalgic feel. It reminds me of when I was a kid. But it reminds me of when I was a kid. Because I'm old
I
as
do
fuck.
love A Christmas Story as well. That's a
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but as far as movie goes, it's. But I am looking for looking to the new. What's that? What's the name of that movie? It's got David Harbour in it, and he's fucking Santa Claus, and he goes
Violet Night.
Oh, yeah. Violet Night. Yeah.
But no,
Dahmer.
Christmas Story is my favorite.
I do like that. I do like that movie too, but I feel like ever since whatever was it TBS or whatever fucking plays it all day on
I can
Christmas.
watch that movie.
feel-
I can watch that movie on.
I feel
freaking sick of it.
I know that a lot of us want Christmas, but like I do feel okay. There's one movie that I watch every fucking Halloween season, and it's the worst.
Halloween for me would be my favorite Halloween.
No, this movie is like the dumbest fucking movie that you can possibly watch on Halloween because it's old. Seen
There
it
it is.
15,000 times. Seen it 15,000
Yes.
times. Blah blah blah. Scream.
Oh no, I was talking about what Heather was holding up there, the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh yeah.
That's I mean, they're kind of the same
That's
movie,
a
but yeah.
classic. That's a classic. But no, I watch fucking Scream every year. I don't know why because I've seen it 5,000 times. But it's
Comfort level.
Okay, so no, it's relatable in a sense of nostalgia because like when
Right.
that movie came out, I was a teenager, and they're all a bunch of teenagers, and I literally am the girl that's going, why the fuck are they running up the stairs? What are you doing? The front door is right there. That's literally me.
That's all of us. We all would be like, why the fuck are you fucking doing that?
Yeah, like why, bitch? Why are you running up the stairs? Like I even said it when I was
Oh,
watching
man.
Scream as she was calling this shit out.
So do we want to get to? Are we good? Or do you want?
Yeah.
'Cause I do have to get off here shortly.
Yeah. What? Let's see here. What else? Oh, wait. What other
Davante
stuff?
Adams. If you want to talk Davante Adams real quick, do that. Get that.
Yeah. You know what? Sports. That's all you, JP. I'll let you.
So,
I think I did see a clip of this, but go ahead.
So Davante Adams at the end of the Kansas City Chiefs Las Vegas Raiders game, they ended up losing. He apparently shoved a cameraman or a media person at the tunnel.
Mhm.
I can honestly tell you from the first view that I seen, Davante Adams is a douchebag. Okay. The second view, which is close down the field, that let's keep in mind now, Davante Adams, 6'2", about 6'2", 220 pounds, and is built like a brick shithouse, right? He didn't even hardly hit that guy, but then again, I don't know how big that guy was. He didn't appear to be that big, but apparently this guy pressed charges against Davante Adams, and those charges were brought to Davante Adams.
But here's the fucked up part about it is Davante Adams, he immediately realized what he did. And he like numerous people said that he apologized on the field, and he also apologized again during the press conference, stating that he knew that he was in the wrong and he was so fucking sorry for what he did. It was an instant reaction because the guy stepped in front of him. My question is, why is that guy stepping in front of him?
My question
He
is,
was probably trying to get to a place to take a photo.
No, he's
He
got
had a camera in his hand.
no. He doesn't even have a camera in his hand. He's got some sort of field equipment in his hand.
It looks like he's got the shit in IV is carried around.
Oh no! So he's got a mic stand. He's got a mic.
Yeah.
So he's probably got a boom.
I feel like there's no
So-
excuse for him to push him anyway.
There isn't.
No matter what.
I'm going to say, I'll put it to you like this. Never in I don't even know how many years he was in Green Bay, he never
acted like that.
acted like that.
So
Personally, I'm thinking frustrated.
He said he was very frustrated.
And he is starting to realize that he should have not left Green Bay.
I'm happy, shove. So what I
I'm just saying. Now that I could be speaking out my ass because he did want to go home, and great, fine. He wanted to be close to family. He wanted to play with his best friend. Who never throws him the fucking ball.
There's
in
no
the first
excuse
place.
to like shove somebody to the ground. That has nothing to do with the game.
You're right. I'm not excusing what he did, but
Fine him for $1 billion.
Wee.
See, this is
Yeah,
another
no
one.
shit.
He was arrested, so it's an assault charge. He could face prison.
Nothing's gonna come of it.
Nothing will come of it. It'll be settled at a court.
He's gonna say, "Pay my doctor bills," which is a scrape on the fucking elbow.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. was laughing so fucking hard after this happened, not because of what happened, because I did
I'm a nice
share
person, but I was laughing my
it.
ass
But
off
here's
at
the thing.
this.
Listen, just hear me out.
Okay, okay.
I shared it on Twitter, and I was like, "This is fucking uncalled for," because as you guys said,
Woo.
under no circumstances was that called for in any means, whether the guy stepped in front of him or not. I understand it was complete frustration. He did apologize multiple fucking times for it. However, I was laughing my ass off after the fact because I went through the fucking tweets of this situation, right? And every single person in that tweet almost was in the comments was fucking commenting about how it was like, oh, the media guy tomorrow, and it showed him in a neck brace or whatever. Everybody was fucking calling for the fact that this guy was not only going to press charges, but that he was going to attempt to sue.
He's paralyzed from the neck down.
The
Yeah,
two things I want to note. One, the common response I saw to this was the gif of Keith Lee shoulder tackling Adam Cole into the
Oh my
crowd in
God,
NXT. That's the number one I saw. The second thing is I've seen the whole clip in its entirety when he was walking like off of the field, and so it looked like what happened was he was going off of the field, like he was going back to the locker room or something, and
he was going through the tunnel.
and it was just the timing, I think, of the guy was trying to cross across the tunnel, and it was just he was right in the line of fire at the wrong place, wrong time.
So my thing is and this is where I defend him. Yes, he shouldn't have pushed the guy, but that player has every right to get. He shouldn't have to move for that. That
Right.
guy should not be fucking running across there in the first place.
No, but I mean, it
Look
doesn't
at the
give you.
security guard. The security guy's like, "What are you doing?" Like he's trying to stop him, and Davante Adams just fucking plows him over. I probably would have done the same thing.
I would not.
I mean, when you're
Wait,
frustrated,
what the fuck? No. I'm frustrated all the fucking time walking down the city streets. I'm not pushing people left, right, and center or in front of me. There's no excuse to push a man down, even if he's in front of you, for no reason.
To be fair, this gif that you shared,
You're missing the point. He's going to his locker, walking
I
off
don't
the
care.
field.
He doesn't own the locker room. He doesn't own the field.
Well, that the guy that he shoved him.
There's literally no excuse to push somebody in front of you. In this circumstance, unless they're fighting you.
To be fair, also watching this clip here, yes, he pushes him, but he didn't push him to the ground. It looks like the guy tripped over his own feet and fell down.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, he's holding
he
a
really did.
fucking
Like,
IV stand, so like he can't, and he refuses to stop holding it, so he can just take
do
it.
you want to hold on to it, bro?
Here's the thing.
I mean, you
when
can see
watch
his
the
head
video-
kind of snap. It's enough. That's enough to probably fall down.
Oh.
I mean, then again, he's gonna have no actual damage if he shows up in a neck brace or body cast. It's obviously fucking bullshit.
Rumor has it you heard the sound effect of the cha-ching happening as soon as he
I am
pushed it.
personally saying he has from the video footage, he's fucked in terms of like having any
liability or
any excuse to be like, why did you do this? Oh, I was frustrated. Okay, yeah, fine. I was frustrated, so I ran over someone.
He admitted that he's not saying that he's not at fault.
Then again, this to me is it should be treated exactly the same as if nobody pushed another nobody out on the street.
Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing.
No, he shouldn't be making $1 million
Oh
off being
no!
pushed.
Here's the thing. I think a lot needs to be factored into this, especially the fact that Davante Adams immediately realized what he did, and he apologized on the field. Plus, he apologized at the press conference. It's not like he's denying what he did. He
Guilty by plea of insanity.
I mean,
so it all comes full circle, just like we talked about at the beginning.
He acknowledged what he did, and at no point in time was he ever trying to blame the guy for stepping in front of him or anything like that. Like he said flat out, I was in the wrong. I pushed him. I was frustrated. So yes, he should be liable for any medical bills or whatever that the guy may have. However, when it
he needs to buy him a box of Band-Aids.
When it comes to
A
the
diaper.
NFL and any punishment that may come from the
He
NFL,
shouldn't get punished.
I feel like the NFL needs to take into consideration the fact that he accepted accountability for his actions immediately.
But he
It doesn't
does
excuse his
not.
actions, though.
He's never.
It's out of character.
It's out of character for him.
It is
the
very
only
out
thing
of
I say
character, 'cause
is
normally he's like frolicking with fans and shit. Like he was always like that in Green Bay.
he
would
should
be in the crowd and shit.
He should be held accountable for his actions. He shouldn't be like taken advantage of because of them, because he has money. In all honesty, if this happened down on the street, most people would just be like, we'll go our separate ways after
Right.
they get up. It's not like, I'm going to call the cops and I'm going to charge you for everything you ever own
Well, I
or
mean,
ever will
you're,
see.
you're forgetting what world we live in now, Basement.
Yeah.
I know, but it's only
We
going to
live in
be
a
as
very
big. It's only going to be as
world.
big as it is because he makes a bunch of money. The one thing I look at is the bad press that will come from
He knows.
internally, and other
Okay.
people that might look at him and be like, "What the fuck was that?" Like it's indicative of character.
I know. This is completely out of character.
But I think what Basement's saying is like it has now tainted his otherwise very
It won't.
I mean, but here's the thing: if you look at it as a whole, yeah, it probably won't mean anything. But if you look at it right now, it is very out of character for him, which means it did taint his reputation at some to some
I
level.
guarantee you, by the end of the year, this guy will have people forget about it.
He'll push
because
a couple other people.
No, I guaranteed he doesn't do it again.
He'll never do it again.
I just don't know why he did it to begin with. It's really strange.
It was frustration. I mean, people
Yeah,
do
but
stupid
they
shit when they're
lost the
frustrated.
game that they were
Come
winning.
on, man. How old is this guy?
Basement.
29?
I have seen grown ass men fucking punch walls and shit out of. I've seen grown ass women punch walls out of frustration. I myself have thrown shit at other people out of frustration. I'm not
Yep,
fucking
she
innocent
admitted
either.
I mean, I guess
Do you
I'm.
not?
I guess
did
I'm
you
a
not
saint.
Did you not ever watch JP play a video game of football?
I guess I'm a
Frustration.
saint.
looking
I don't know why I'm like massaging myself while I say that.
Because you're a saint, and I don't want to know.
That's
what
why you're off camera.
else you were massaging.
No, I just I don't know. Eventually, get control of your fucking mental state.
He's fine. He'll.
It was an act of frustration, like that. That's it. It was a brief act of frustration. Immediately realized that right there says to me that his mental state is just fine because he immediately realized
I don't know.
what he did,
man.
and he tried to help the guy up. Immediately was apologizing.
Wife comes home, pushes me to the ground. I'm so sorry.
And not everybody is fucking perfect. People have moments of frustration where you lash out in anger, whether that be throwing something against a wall,
Killing
or
7
throwing
kids.
something at somebody else's head.
Oh, fuck, you beat me to it. I was about to say it.
I mean, with the kids, I have been so frustrated with my kids before. I go into my bedroom and I slam my fucking door.
I
That
killed
is my
7
frustration.
kids. It was out of frustration.
Okay, if you're frustrated, okay, you're super fucking frustrated, and somebody steps in your way. Now, I don't know about you. Maybe your fucking anger is much more controlled than mine. But if I am super fucking frustrated and I am super angry about something, do not fucking step in front of me because that's the quickest way to get something thrown at your head. That's just the way I am.
I mean, if somebody steps in front of me and I throw something at their head, and then the next step is me getting my fucking ass kicked, then I don't know if I want to go down that path.
No.
I mean, I don't throw people, like, not directly at their head. I'll throw it in the general direction of their head.
Mondays!
In that situation, if that was
That's no
me,
rules. Sorry.
if that was me, I would have probably kept walking and said, "Get the fuck out of my way."
I would have just.
Because
I would have just it moved around the fucking person.
Well, he
took
really
was one
okay.
excuse
So
me.
did you watch the whole video?
Yeah, I saw the like.
Because that
Oh
guy
god!
literally
Now I'm
came-
bleeding, JP. What have you done to me?
I don't know, but that guy literally came from fucking nowhere and ran in front of him. He didn't have time to stop and walk around.
Okay, if Davante Adams was a policeman, he'd go to jail forever.
Oh my God, why are you so against Davante Adams? Jesus Christ.
Just like, I mean, the thing is, like, it's like I don't think anything should come of this. I think he should, as long as he acknowledges he was in the wrong and that the guy is not a fucking money hungry cunt, he should be okay. But he probably gonna have to pay him off, give him $20,000 or something.
I personally think the kind of person he is, he just apologized because of who he is.
Well, he did something wrong. He should apologize.
I personally don't think he was wrong. That guy came.
You don't think he was wrong to push someone to the ground in front of him?
I don't.
No, because that guy, you watch the video, that guy literally fucking, as soon as he got right there, he like ran right.
Yeah, he literally ran purposely in front of him, like directly in front of him. And I don't know if he was trying to get an interview or if he was trying to hear what he was saying or what it was, but that guy purposely ran right in front of him.
The cameras were on him from the time he walked off the sidelines to the time. So they were trying.
But the thing is, like, he's running up holding a fucking IV stand. I don't know. Like, I mean, okay. So when somebody runs up to me, I usually stop in my tracks and put my hands out in case something happens. I don't.
Because he was still wearing his helmet at the time, so it's kind of hard to see something coming from the fucking side.
Basement, you literally have to watch the whole thing. He literally runs in front of him.
Okay. How many times have people run in front of you? Have you pushed them over?
He literally did not have time to react to anything other than shoving the guy.
What? That is not true.
Let me just clarify. I realize how badly I made myself sound. I don't throw shit at people out of frustration anymore. Just clarifying that, okay? I've got controlled my anger issues. I just want to put that out there. Because I was thinking back and I'm like, I made myself sound pretty fucking bad. Anywho, continue.
I'm just saying, I literally don't think he had time to react other than push the guy.
I mean, the push wasn't even that.
I
you don't have to push him. You can just stop where you are.
So you're missing what I'm saying is he did not have time to stop. That's the point.
Watching it,
he's walking.
Honestly, watching it, I think it was just an involuntary thing that he pushed the guy. I don't think he purposely set out to push the guy.
I agree, but like
involuntary reaction that like he was frustrated and somebody got in front of him, so he just pushed him.
Yeah, when push comes to shove,
he was trying to get out of the tunnel. He was trying to get off the field because he was so frustrated. So it was obviously an involuntary response.
So if he wasn't frustrated and just walking, he would do the same thing.
Oh, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think he would have. I think he probably would have reacted the same way.
Then he should be charged if he's just pushing people left, right, and center.
What do you mean you're out of Reese's Pieces?
You cut me off! Just run you over.
If you take frustration out of it, Davante Adams, judging by how he reacted with the crowd and stuff when he was in Green Bay,
how many people have walked in front of you in real life, and this is how you've answered?
That's the thing. He did not walk in front. Ran.
So?
How
many people ran in front of you, and this is how you answered?
Yeah, if I'm walking somewhere and I don't have peripheral.
You have a certain amount of peripheral vision with the football helmet.
Basement, you're giving away like
not as much as you think.
You're giving away tips.
I've worn one.
But I think that
he's got tunnel vision. He just wants to get the.
He doesn't have.
I think that if he wasn't frustrated, he might have still ran into the guy. He wouldn't have pushed him. In my opinion, he would not have pushed him. But he probably still would have ran into the guy because
the one thing I'll say
for him to react.
The one thing I'll say is his push is not. There's no intent to hurt somebody.
Exactly. You can.
He does kind of like.
Bitch, get out the way. Get out the way.
Which is why I said like it shouldn't result in any sort of charges or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know if I'd push somebody running in front of me.
On that note, I think we've beaten that subject to death. Do we want to keep going? Was there any other things we wanted to do this, or we want to wrap up on
You
that?
want to talk about Jeffrey Dahmer? That Jeffrey Dahmer died.
Yeah, there is
Eat your
one
heart out.
thing about and it's not Jeffrey Dahmer. It's more like the Netflix adaptation of Dahmer.
Okay, so I just real quick before we move on, I asked the audience what they did when they get frustrated, and Alpha said, for the most part, he just gets louder when he's venting, but worst case scenario, he does get destructive. And then he talks about how he broke a speed punching bag.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, holy shit.
And then Silent Gamer just said that he just gets really quiet and goes and smokes.
It's understandable.
Which totally fits.
I can't do the smoking clearly. You guys have seen me on edibles and just I'm gone. So apparently the mother of one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims spoke out about the Netflix drama Monster, saying, quote, "It didn't happen like that."
Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna mute.
Taking a hit away.
Shirley Hughes, the mother of Dahmer's victim Tony
Choking
Hughes,
on her
told
bullshit.
The Guardian Monday that the show's depiction of her son's death and its aftermath didn't happen as shown as on the screen. I don't see how they can do that. I don't see how they can use our names and put stuff out like that, like out there. Tony, who was deaf and could not speak, met Dahmer in a Milwaukee bar in May of '91. Dahmer then took Hughes home, drugged him, and dismembered his body, but also kept his skull. I did get a chance to see a little bit of this Jeffrey Dahmer show, first and foremost.
Same.
I'm a huge fan of Evan Peters, so again, I know fucking casting is perfect.
I think he did a great job with the role. I actually completely disagree with the show being made.
Oh, see, I haven't seen the whole thing. I only saw like bits of the first episode. So
yeah, I'm with Basement on this one because, like, first of all, Dahmer's been done so many goddamn times. There's so many other serial killers out there.
It's not that old, and it's such a dramatization, and they do take things like that aren't facts and infuse them in it, and they try to push a certain narrative towards the half of the show that kind of just will be like they just change the factual shit to make that narrative work.
That disappoints me.
And that was like the question that I wanted to pose when bringing this up, because I read the article and I wanted to know: do you guys think that the network should be required to alert the families of the victims if they plan? Just hear me out. If they plan on redepicting details of their loved ones' murders, especially if it's based on inaccurate information.
Ask Alex Jones.
I am not talking about getting their permission or whatever. What I'm saying is, do you think that they should at least be notified that there is going to be a documentary made about their loved ones? Because in this case, the victim's family, they had no idea that this was coming out until it was out. And suddenly all of their fucking trauma was brought back.
I think they should actually need to get the go-ahead from the victim's family to depict them. I agree. And I think the victim's family should be kept apprised of what they're doing with that character, because they definitely don't depict them all in the same way that they were, and they definitely don't depict the entire thing in the same light that it was done. Like it's warped to become something made in 2022.
And that was the big issue with Dahmer, because with Tony, it was depicted that him and Dahmer were like falling in love in the show, and they were in love and all this stuff. And that is not based on
a lot of it isn't.
What Dahmer did to that man was ridiculously bad, and it's not that the show doesn't, it's not that they don't necessarily depict that it was bad what he did to him, but they romanticize it, and that's not how it fucking happened, and that's what the victim's family has such an issue with. And they actually went to the point where, like, during the Dahmer trial in the series, they actually had a girl that looked exactly like his, like Tony's sister, and she said word for word exactly what his sister said in the court. So that was like basically putting his sister back in that time, reliving all of that trauma. They even had her wear the exact same outfit that his sister had.
This is where I have the problem, because there's a weird level of dramatization and complete lies. Like, if you watched, I didn't watch the entirety of it, but I caught some here and there. the first couple episodes I definitely did see, and the one thing that they had was this the neighbor that was like always questioning him, but this and that, and it starts off with the neighbor watching TV about like basically it's about like black people not being treated well or something along those lines.
It was by the police system because he lived in a predominantly.
The problem is that character, the person didn't live in the same fucking complex as him. He lived across the street, and like they infused a bunch of characters that lived by him into one. Then not only did they make her then black, but they made the race thing right off the bat. And because he killed a lot of black men, but he killed black men, he killed white men, he killed it was
predominantly black men.
It was, but that's because where he was and how his like it worked out. He wasn't focusing purely on black men, and the show really tries to hammer home a certain level of that, which I don't think is right.
For me personally, I have an issue with them romanticizing it, especially Tony. They romanticized it, and then because like okay, we all know, well, most of us know anyway, that what he actually did to Tony was he actually he drugged him, and he used a fucking drill to drill a hole in his brain because he thought that he could turn him into a zombie and make him do whatever the hell he wanted. That was not depicted in the show. It was just.
So my issue with this fucking thing, and every time they do things, is they're fucking killer.
Yeah,
they are,
and especially this one because
and if I am the victim, parents or whatever, I am totally 100% against any of this shit unless it benefits. Well, it's not benefiting the.
This is the thing. No. This show, like the showrunners and everything, the showrunners came out and said that they're doing this to like highlight the victims or giving the, but like in the end, if you watch it, all it's doing is glorifying the acting Dahmer. By Evan Peters as Dahmer. Otherwise, the show's not watchable.
Evan Peters did a phenomenal job. I am not trying to take anything away from him.
It's nothing against him. It's phenomenal job. The fact that it should have never been made.
Well, the thing is, we forget that there's a whole generation out there that had no idea who Dahmer was, which was shown after this came out because everybody was like, oh my God, like all these younger kids and stuff, they're like, oh my God, I never even knew about Jeffrey Dahmer or whatever. This is what they're seeing, and this is what is becoming factual evidence to them, so when you have something like this that is not depicted 100% on true factuality, and you're presenting this to a society that never heard of Jeffrey Dahmer before, that's when you start getting people. There's actually people on the internet that are, just because Evan Peters played Dahmer, they are now saying, oh, Dahmer's daddy.
Yeah, the thing is, leave the real crime and fucking horrible shit to documentaries.
I guess
if you want to create a fictional version, don't use the real names or anything like that. Hey, you can create a Dahmer fictional version, but say inspired by the Jeffrey Dahmer case, and then use completely different everything. The idea that they did, like, this is like 100% a TV show dedicated to something that happened not that long ago that is terrible. That kind of like grandizes Dahmer, which is weird.
But if you look at society as a whole, certain parts of society have always glamorized serial killers. I mean, take a look back at Charles Manson, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted
imagine
Bundy.
This being like
all of them had.
Imagine the show. Imagine the show being about the Sandy Hook shooters, and then you have Alex Jones all over again.
Right.
Yeah.
So where does the line get drawn between like creative license and reality?
Well, I still have to work on my serial killer trading card collection, so I got.
So my whole point.
I'm going as Dahmer for Halloween.
There is always going to be a certain level of society that for some god awful reason, hold serial killers at like this almost
It's the
god
fascination. It's the fascination of
And-
the outliers, the weirdness, the most extreme version of people.
There's these people out there that like.
Remember
Okay,
Guinness
said
Book
all
of
of
World
these
Records? Same fucking idea.
Like-
I have
like I said, all of
8,000
these
piercings
people
everywhere.
All
Love
of
me.
these people have fans. They have these girls that are look at Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy had fucking countless girls that were trying to get in to see him in the prison, even up until the day that he fucking died. He had fans, and there's a certain level of society that's always going to do that. But when it pertains to them depicting a true life event in a series like this, they need to stick to factual evidence, because you are now dramatizing and romanticizing serial killer that is not based on factual evidence. So this whole new generation don't fucking like, they don't know,
And
you know.
Beyond a cash
And then
grab
the
at this point,
victims'
the
families are
manipulation
getting
too.
fucking, the victims' families are getting fucking, traumatized all over again. It's just, it's bad overall.
I watched the first 2 episodes of this, and like I looked online to see like what the general consensus is about the show, and people were like, "It is terrifying. Is this? Is that?" Like I didn't feel anything. I was just bored more than anything, to be honest.
I watched the whole series. I'm not gonna lie, it is a good series if you look at it as a television series.
I feel like
If
it
you
could be
look at it
better.
as a documentary based on an actual true person and live events, then it was shit.
It would have been better if they took out him being Jeffrey Dahmer. In all honesty, like I would have been a bit more attached to it, because like the way the show works, at least from what I gathered, is they hit you with like the creepy factor immediately, and they kind of get there. Like the beginning of the show, spoiler alert for anybody watching, is basically how he ends up getting caught. And then I'm assuming they relive some of the older things that he did and the crimes and shit like that.
It basically goes through his life to what leads up to.
I was gonna say, yes, it shows him getting caught, and basically it's his
then it's
retelling
like
of the story.
I
of
was
what
with my
happened.
dad and we were doing taxidermy, or we were getting fucking dead animals on the road and shit like that. I don't care about why are you making a show about somebody nobody should remember?
Time out a second, because that part of the show actually plays a huge factor into why
he was able to hide his victims for so long.
Yeah, and why he became who he was. Like when the fascination with like dead
But
things.
when they market the show about being about the victims, and the entire fucking first half is about the fucking monster, it's like, okay, cool. Because the monster is more fascinating than the victims. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
There was one that was done not too long ago on Hulu. I can't remember what the hell it was called, but it was about this girl, and her roommate killed her, but he claimed to be sleeping when he killed her. But they made this documentary about it, and her family was all over fucking social media pleading with people, please do not watch this. They never told us where they were making it. It's not based on factual evidence. This is not what's happening. And once again, they were dramatizing and romanticizing the killer in that. That is the problem when you take real life crimes and you want to make them into a documentary based on factual events.
That's fine. But the
a series.
The idea of making, like, you want to make a horror movie, a horror series, that's fine. You want to use them as inspiration for doing it, go for it. Don't credit them, and don't really refer to them as, and don't do a beat by beat reenactment of actual shit. I was watching this. I'm like, there's nothing about this that I find that interesting. Majority of the time, it's like, oh, my apartment smells like shit. And walking around slowly, smoking cigarettes slowly, and lying on a man sucking on his nipples. And I was like, sounds like a good time. That was 2 hours of that.
The thing is
again, like, sounds like a good time. Oh.
When they make movies, series, things like that, especially Netflix, when they do, and I say Netflix because Netflix is the biggest platform that does the majority of these. Yes. When they do things like this, they make calculated decisions, and they know what the hell they're doing. You can tell that just based on who they get as actors. This one, they got Evan Peters, who is a huge
But
fucking
this was
actor
also like a show that came out of
at the
nowhere.
moment.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
you look back a couple years ago, they had the Ted Bundy one that came out. Who the hell did they get to play Ted Bundy? Zac Efron. You know, they know exactly what they're fucking doing. They are romanticizing and sexualizing these killers. And meanwhile, in the meantime, all of these families of the victims are being re-traumatized.
I just,
Are
I
you
like,
in the
I'm,
same? Oh, good.
no, go ahead.
I was going to ask if Heather's in the same boat as Gina with this. Like, I wanted to get her quick opinion on it.
My thoughts on this are in line with you guys. However, with the privacy laws of all the states, it's nearly impossible for studios to get in touch with these people to do this unless they scour social media and do it that way.
Good point.
Because the police and any other newscasting or a news broadcast or any other kind of film industry that had contact with these families legally cannot just give out that number so that the news studio can get in touch with them.
Right, but if you look
I
at
feel
a
like-
situation like Dahmer, like with Dahmer, victims' families were very outspoken.
I mean,
I
morally,
feel like-
should they have done it? Yes.
Because the series was already made.
I
That's
feel
the
like
point.
if
No,
you're
but
gonna
I mean,
do a
Like
dramatized,
right after the murders, right after the murders, they were very, very much vocal. They were in the news all the fucking time.
Right,
Like,
but
right
that
after
was-
the
So
murders,
it's not social media.
their names all over the fucking place.
I
So
feel like-
it's not that hard to get a fucking tracker and track down somebody's phone number based on their name.
Well,
when it comes to something
Well,
like this,
Terminator there is a good example of how many Sarah Connors were in that phone book.
you should not be able to do a dramatization of real life acts involving a serial killer. It should be
Names, for
illegal for
God's
you to
sakes.
do. You can do a documentary, but a dramatization of it, you should not be legally allowed to do.
I agree, because there's certain levels of and obviously you
Well,
have
how is
different
this how is this any different than the Alex Jones shit? I need to ask and see, like, why isn't this fucking Netflix series being charged $1 billion for taking a real life tragedy
Based on true events.
warping it into being something that it's not?
Deeper
It's not
pockets
really
and more
Hollywood,
control.
yeah.
I mean, I completely agree with you right there, but I mean,
Full
it's just
circle.
it's shameful on Hollywood's behalf, in my opinion, because anything to make a quick buck. You know what I'm saying? And God damn it,
Okay.
please fucking stop, for the love of God. Anybody in Hollywood that is listening to me right now, please fucking stop making shit about serial killers in the 1970s and 80s already. Okay, we have.
Okay. So here's the thing. I don't mind them making, because it's history. It's a part of the history.
Right, but there's so many.
I have no them documentaries like that said. Probably the best documentary ever done on
Your mic completely cut out for that.
You gotta get close.
the investigation discovery.
Yeah,
if
they
you-
do a good job.
They do a really good job, and they actually have interviews with the victims' families.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they,
matter
you know,
of sensitivity.
they get firsthand account of what it was like to find out that Ted Bundy killed my daughter or my sister, cousin, or my brother, or, you know, whatever.
Worker even.
So they do a really good job, but having and making movies about them, you're glorifying the serial killer themselves, which is exactly what they
That is exactly what
they want to become their what is a famous term is infamous.
I'm
Yeah.
Carly.
Fucking Connor. I mean, as a person who absolutely, like, everybody knows, I fucking love true crime. But after watching Dahmer, I was very impressed with Evan Peters' acting. Okay, but first of all, let me say that, because he is a phenomenal fucking actor.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of
However,
his.
I was very, very not upset, but
Disappointed?
disappointed. Because
Damn, that sucks.
as a fucking true fan, or a true crime fan, I don't want to say fan, but like, as a person that watches true crime all of the fucking time, I knew the story of Dahmer and I knew the story of his victims. So watching Tony, he turned it into something that was so heartbreaking. And I mean, obviously him being killed was heartbreaking enough, but they know what they were trying to do. But in trying to do that, they also failed the family time.
Well, I mean,
obviously-
you just gotta look at like the people that left watching the show. The only thing they're talking about is fucking Dahmer and Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, it's Evan Peters' daddy and Dahmer is daddy. And oh my God, I never realized I was so attracted to a serial killer before. Like, what kind of mental state are you in when you watch a movie about a fucking serial killer that literally ate people and you get turned on?
Eat your heart out. So, on that note,
What the fuck, man?
Dahmer,
Come on.
like Dahmer is like an actual fucking just a dumb
Monster.
fucking idiot.
oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
no doubt.
honestly, the guy was fucking idiotic. He wasn't like
Really
this
was.
mastermind or anything like that. He was just
Oh, he
dumb
fa-
as
he
a
failed.
brick.
He pretty
Most
much failed out of
serial
school.
killers are dumbasses.
I know. It's like,
I mean, but you take somebody like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was very, very fucking
I mean,
smart.
the like
Oh, yeah.
majority of serial
That's-
killers are actually like below regular IQ.
They are.
Alex Jones. See, it all comes back full circle.
Mhm.
So, any other last minute tidbits on this before we're good, or
I have nothing unless there's something else.
The only
I-
thing
listen, the
I
only thing I'm going
literally-
to mention is the one chip challenge, and stop doing it.
I don't know
One
what it
chip?
is.
What are you
challenges
talking about? One
nowadays.
chip
So
challenge?
so
Just tell me what it is so I go to bed.
Philly's listening, and he's going to know exactly what I'm talking about because my daughter had him try. My daughter last time he came here, my daughter wanted to buy him this chip, right? They sell these chips that are super fucking hot. And I think this one was like a ghost pepper chip or something like that.
Yeah, it's fine.
And
Give it to
she
me.
had him try the last one, right? Which is like ghost pepper or something like that. That was hot enough. Now they have this new chip that's like literally the hottest fucking pepper in the entire world. I can't remember what
I'll
it's called.
do it.
But people are doing this challenge. People are doing this challenge and they are actually ending up in the hospital. I mean, I'm talking about mass numbers of people that are ending up in the hospital just from doing this stupid challenge. They just had like something like 11 kids in a
I'll
school in
do it.
Minnesota that had to go to the fucking hospital. But there's adults
Were
that
they
are getting
white
fucking
kids?
hospitalized too. I don't know. But there's adults that are getting hospitalized too. And all I have to say about this whole fucking thing is just stop fucking doing stupid shit.
The thing is, like,
So-
spice is like you have to get used to certain levels of spice until like a certain level of spice doesn't really impact you. If you go from like eating vanilla yogurt your entire life to the one chip challenge, you're gonna fucking die.
I literally watched somebody on TikTok that tried to do this one chip challenge, and they took one bite out of that chip and they couldn't go anymore. And when I say bite, I'm
Gina?
talking about little bite. Yes.
You need to go onto YouTube and search Brendan Ferris and him eating
Oh,
the one
God.
chip challenge.
yeah, I've seen
As
that
I
too.
love
he opens that bag, he sits there and goes, "Why do you smell like feet?" That's when you know you are in critical danger when it
Yes.
comes to spicy
So-
food challenges.
People are fucking literally getting hospitalized from
So
this shit.
when
Sorry,
are we
Jake.
doing the one chip challenge, guys?
Ever?
Next
So
week.
speaking of a challenge, I have a surprise for everybody for.
For next
Okay.
week?
Oh shoot, I won't be around. Damn
Yeah.
it, I won't be.
Surprise.
Able to do it, but I purchased an MRE,
Oh, yeah.
Like 10,000 calories of
and
ass.
it is. And Heather can vouch for this. She's seen it last night. It is a bean burrito bowl.
Oh, you're
Oh
gonna-
God, you're gonna shit yourself.
I'm not going to be able to do it this week, but I will do it the following week.
2 weeks from now, watch JP shit himself live on air.
We're going to do it on No Bucks Given.
Oh God.
I guess I'll go ahead and buy the one chip challenge.
Oh, listen,
No.
Pickle Juice put you in the fucking hospital. You cannot do a one chip challenge.
Put me in
So
the
I just
hospital.
I actually put the MRE out in the car. So I was going to show everybody, but I totally forgot. But I'm going to do that here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, man,
I will be out of town next week, and then I will be home.
I found it.
I just okay, listen.
It's only $24 for one chip. How could I go wrong?
As a society, what's the chip called though? Basement? Is it blue?
It's called PACWE One Chip Challenge 2022.
It's like a bluish color.
It has a
Bluish
big
purple.
red skull. Oh, it's like
Yeah.
black. Oh, the actual thing's like black.
I mean,
Yeah.
when Philly did the ghost pepper one, I felt bad enough. Like I was like, you do not have to finish that shit. Like at all.
I would
Please
prepare
don't.
yourself as much as humanly possible, basement, because those can be
So we're doing it together?
those can cause you some problems.
Is what you're telling me, Connor?
Oh God,
What?
no.
We're doing it together?
Listen, Silent Gamer just said that he'll
I'm
do
not
it
gonna
with-
lie, it's kind of tempting.
So
No.
let's do it together? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I gotta think about it.
No, please, no.
Listen,
I
one
don't
more
wanna
free
see
punch
my
of the, one more punch card, one more punch in my punch
I
card at the
don't
hospital.
It's
wanna-
now or
Yeah,
never.
right?
It's now or never.
Please, God, no.
I guess people will just have to tune in to see if it happens.
My whole point
It's
in
on
this whole
sale.
thing is like, as a society, people are so fucking quick to jump on all these stupid trends and stuff without
Let's do it.
Tide Pods, NyQuil
without
chicken.
thinking. Yes, like you don't think things through. Look at the fucking teenagers a while back that were destroying their fucking schools. For what? Like because it was a trend? Like stop fucking doing stupid shit.
Connor?
Well, the whole thing is with the
Yeah.
advent of what we ourselves are doing here right now, the advent of the easy podcast through YouTube.
Yeah.
All these teenagers are out there thinking, "Oh, if I do this, go viral, and get my 1,000,000 subs, I never have to get a real job."
The biggest thing is TikTok right now because like that's where
At the
most
top.
of these challenges are starting out. That's where they're originating from. And then they spread like wildfire because people are fucking stupid.
By the way, Horny Goat coming to TikTok.
I don't think this is going to be that bad, to be honest with you.
Unfortunately,
Horny Goat is already on TikTok, Connor.
Oh, okay. Huh?
unfortunately, I have to get off the call. I have to go to bed, or else I won't wake up.
Yeah, I'm right
And
behind you, JP. So,
I've got a long drive on the way home. So,
all right. Have a good night, my friend.
good night, everybody. Heather,
Good
love
night.
you.
Let us know if you want us
that-
to do the one chip challenge.
He's got
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Maybe, I don't know yet. But on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks to JP, Heather, Gina, Basement, and everyone of the awesome people joining us in the chat live here at youtube.com/hornygoat. Make sure you go check out all the other stuff we got coming down the pipeline. Make sure you check out all the other stuff we've already recorded here on the YouTube channel, and check us on your favorite podcast platform. We're on Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, everything you could possibly think of. Let us know if you want us to do, or if you want Basement to do the one chip challenge.
I won't do it alone, but I
No.
will do it with
The
somebody
side-
else.
Listen, I already
Go
told
with
you.
you.
Philly already told you he'll fucking do it with you.
Well, you got to be on the
All right,
call, man. We got to do it together.
I mean, that can be arranged.
do a
but please,
dramatization
God,
of
no.
it.
Please, God, no.
We'll discuss
First
it.
of
We'll
all,
do
I
it
don't want to
anally.
in the hospital. Second of all, I
Oh
don't
God, no.
I do not want to see my boyfriend end up in the hospital. So please, for the love of God, no.
We're going to
No.
be hospital friends.
I don't think we're doing anything tomorrow. I think tomorrow's another rest day. So on that note, I think the next time you guys will see/hear us,
Oh, God,
will
I
be
got to
for the
watch that
Marvel
entire
Roundtable.
fucking show tomorrow.
Same here.
What's that?
Nothing.
He's
I
gotta watch
started
the movie.
watching it, but I gotta finish
What are
watching
you
it.
guys doing?
Have fun.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
I never finished that.
Mhm.
Oh, now's your chance.
I'm up to episode 3. I
I'm
made
up
it
to-
back
Oh, I
to
made it-
episodes 1 and
I-
2.
I'm
It's
up
like,
to episode start of the show.
5. I'm on the opening credits.
I think I made it to like 5 or 6. There was only a few more after where I left off.
5's the best one.
Poon tight.
But we'll talk about it on Monday. But if you want to join us for the Marvel Roundtable, that's going to be Monday for Moon Knight. We got some other gameplay, probably more Walking Dead, and some fun, good bits, and of course, Gino.
Or dark anthology.
Dun,
Dark
dun, dun, dun.
Pictures. I forgot the actual name. Little Hope.
Little Hope. Yeah.
Little
Little
Hope.
Hope.
Little Hope.
Yeah, where I get scared shitless and pee
I'm
myself.
going back and watching that like right now. Well, not now. I gotta get to bed, but next time. But in the morning. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. Thanks to all the wonderful Horny Goat members. Thanks to everybody for joining us, and we'll see you guys in the near future. So take care and peace out.
Night.
Night.
Or a